Hi, Nick.
What's up, guys? Hey, Colin.
Colin. Hey, Nick.
Mm.
G'day, Nick.
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good
Hi,
Andre.
morning.
April.
Hi, Doms. Hi, Colin.
Hi, April.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Jeanette.
I had to set my alarm to get up, so.
Hey, Peggy.
Hey,
Good
morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
G'day. Rolanda.
Morning, all.
Ro.
Are you staying
Huh?
today?
G'day. Yeah, you say g'day.
Doing a 10K tomorrow.
Oh, good luck, Jeanette.
Thanks. I switched my race. I can't do like half marathons. My arthritis can't handle it.
I'm like, do you want to go out? Oh my God.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're well.
Hi.
What's going
I'm
on?
not out
Good
Okay.
Hi,
day,
everyone.
Kansas City.
She's sick.
Yeah, Kansas City.
Virginia Beach. New York.
Too expensive.
Hey, Lewis. Hey, Nick, what do you know about Vladimir Shmondenko?
Not all that much.
Anatoly powerlifter?
I mean, I know what he does, and I know he's strong as hell. But I don't like know him. I can tell you highlights of his career
Gotcha. Why is he so lean?
because he's a lightweight powerlifter. He's not
Lightweight
a
power? Okay.
he's not a big guy. He's small,
Right.
and he probably eats accordingly. It's usually the answer. Not
So he
all.
doesn't eat like you.
I mean, I'm actually leaner when I'm in prep than at any other time,
Okay.
because I don't have room for um, the fat density. Like the open heavyweights can carry more fat because they don't have a weight class, whereas your your weight class athletes all have some sort of weight cut for the most part. Um, so we tend to maximize our frame with muscle mass, especially in the last decade or so. Like your 105 kilo guys or 231 sit at like 250 pounds and cut down. Your 90 kilo guys sit at, we got to be 198.4, where they typically sit anywhere between 210 and me on the upper end at 224. Um, so it's lightweight powerlifting's the same. A lot of those guys like in the 60 some kilo, 70 some kilo weight divisions all sit at probably around 80 kilo. So they get incredibly lean to maximize, we don't, training for strength doesn't really grow you in the size and like outwardly, you get density, and that density over time creates weight gain because you're just getting denser and denser and denser, and then several years will go by, and next thing you know, you're outwardly bigger. So that's why someone like Anatoly, he looks so lean, um, because he is, and be like eating for strength for a weight class athlete can look different than open heavyweight. A lot of the guys are coached by this coach called an open pro body coach. And the problem is he probably has an only 5 to to 8 of them are world class because he uses the same a very similar protocol for all of them, which unless you're already an outlier when it comes to that or already have, polishing a diamond, if you will, the way he approaches it just makes most people fat. And then they never, but the ones that are already at the top or already close to the top, that structure works for them for multiple reasons. They have the frame for it. But it's not that way with weight class athlete. Like I personally don't run good on a high fat diet. It upsets my stomach, feel sluggish, but I can do carbs and protein really, really well. So we carb cycle. And that's typically where I perform well. So Anatoly being lean, he's been in the powerlifting game for a minute, is what works for him in his weight class. But that's what he does. So for those of you that don't know, there's a social media guy. A lot of people know him from being famous for going in and dressed like a janitor, and he goes in and he picks, what these big bodybuilder guys are weightlifting. What they don't know is he's actually a world-class level power lifter. And he is incredibly strong pound for pound. So a lot of those gyms he goes into, they aren't strength gyms because A, he'll get recognized. B, I think a strength gym, like people don't bat an eye with 500 pounds on a bar, even if it's a squat or a deadlift, like it's normal. So when he goes into these bodybuilding gyms and rips 400 off the ground, 500 off the ground, these giant guys are like, what they don't, that's not their training ecosystem. So it's very foreign to a lot of commercial gym goers, even I don't want to say bodybuilders, but guys that train like bodybuilders, seeing a guy of that size being incredibly strong, not realizing, that every guy within, the top 5% of their own sport, not global population, in a strength sport probably deadlifts 3 times their body weight or more. Like it's I was actually in a conversation with not to derail here with Jen and the team last night, is when it came to like not even my strength athletes, just like my athletes and people that wanted to lift, be healthier. I would always push them to a standard of 2 times body weight deadlift, 1.5 times body weight squat, 1 times body weight press. That was like my functional strength criteria. And it obviously that's harder the heavier you are, because 500 pounds is 500 pounds. So it also gave them incentive to continue changing body composition. So like it meets a dual standard. All right, we can kind of hop right into the form checks here.
Yay.
If my computer has caught up.
Hey Nick, while you're getting that ready, can I ask a question on that last point you just made?
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm driving, so I wasn't sure if you could hear me. You mentioned like double your body weight 1.5 times. What would you say that is for women? Called it the functional body weight, multiples, I guess.
What do you mean? Double body weight's double body weight.
Okay, so it's the same. Yeah, no, that's what I meant. Like, is it the same guidance for women, or is it different?
I'm all about equality. No, I got a bad taste
I
in my mouth.
approve.
No, he's not.
I got a bad taste in my mouth from equity in the military and the physical stuff.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
I'm all for it. You like double body weight's double body weight, and it's an incredible. It sounds intimidating, but it's incredibly achievable. Like it's just we're not used to it, and that's the whole society and politic conversation that we're not going to have. But it's incredibly achievable. It sounds intimidating, but it really should be because the amount of people that walk in, and April is a perfect example. How much do you weigh?
170. And so
you're-
I don't lift 340. Well, I do on the trap.
exactly. Like I wasn't getting specific as to which implement you deadlift on, but like it's incredibly achievable. You just pulled 280 on a straight bar, not even prep for it, and you're hunting, and you're still getting familiar with a straight bar deadlift. So like the fact that you're on the cusp of it with minimal familiarization with the conventional pull comparatively to your experience with the trap bar shows you how like tangible and possible it actually is. People kind of, I think, misunderstand the progress that can come with this and where they can go. Now, there are limitations. There's things with legitimate, like I'm not going to hold that standard for an 85-year-old. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's ones out there that can do it. There's an active powerlifter, giant beard, who's competing well into his 70s, at like a 600-pound deadlift. But you got to remember that's a foundation of a lifetime of lifting. That's what that builds. So it's not, I don't have that standard for people to where it's unreasonable. But any, given human run of the mill, should I think from a functional, a safety, as you get older, the stability you gain from it. We were talking about power, why power input is important in your older age, according to stability, fall prevention, things like that, being able to change direction dynamically and in a functional setting. That's why I have that standard. Isn't because everyone needs to be a beast. It's simply not. It's more so of, some people want to be able to pick up their grandkids effortlessly. And having a body weight ability to put their body weight over their head will create that longevity threshold longer than they expected into their age. So that's kind of where it comes from. All right, form checks. My computer it took almost 10 minutes to kind of fire up. I don't know what's going on with it today, but much like my knees, it has good and bad days. I definitely clicked on that. There we go. See? All right, Bart. These are really good.
What is it? Oh, front?
Yeah, front squat.
Yep.
Those were really good. You could potentially, I mean, you're flirting right at depth. Like these are exactly what you need them to be. I mean, if I get picky here, you see how as you progress in the set, those elbows drop. They kind of come back. You did a really good in the first 2 reps, a really good job at firing up when your squat started. Keep them firing up the whole time. Give them a break, rep when you brace, and then right back out and back down. But as you get tired, it's going to try and break you down. That's just the nature of it. but you did those really well. I'm very happy with those.
Okay, you can probably skip this one because this is from the same day. I was curious about the depth because I feel like I could go a little lower.
Yes, you could. And I
Without,
want you to reach out behind you with your butt a little bit further.
okay,
So
This be 2 tablespoons.
as you get down, you can see how your hips try to cheat forward a little bit, and we don't want you to push yourself toe heavy.
yeah, I'm
That's
still
the depth isn't bad.
okay. The best way for me was the goblet from last week because I have a cushion under my butt, so I can feel it. I could go a little lower.
There.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't lose my brace and everything. And with the weight plate,
There is that.
that's good. If I go too much, too deep, I feel like I lose on the tension. So
Yes, but we still need to get that movement pattern in with the back squat because it feels different.
yeah, okay. I will record myself and try to get. I could probably go below parallel, but
I know
I
you
feel
could,
like,
but I'd rather get you in the right position and then work you down.
okay, will
Yeah.
do. Thank you.
So let's get the right position at the depth you're at and then bring it down from there.
Okay, will do.
These are fine. The only thing I would like to see is a really aggressive input back to your position. Or walk forward with the lunge and alternate each leg, if you have the room. Good. Almost maintaining hyperextension here. So this is, I've mentioned this before. We don't actually want hyperextension. We want neutral, because that hyperextension does create torsion, just the opposite direction. But I'd rather have that little bit of extension over a bunch of flexion. So, I would say to help correct that would be let that mid back kind of get into a point of leverage as if you were deadlifting. See how you keep the dumbbells back behind that shoulder? Let them come out directly underneath your shoulder. Because that will load that mid spine better, mid back. Good. Stefan, just more sit. I would also, I can't see your feet, but they look narrow. Maybe widen up your stance. And that because your hips stop at a certain point, and then you fold the rest of the way. So you're curling down with your upper body, giving the feeling you're getting lower, but your hips stop. So we need your hips to drop, and we need to keep all this in place in a nice neutral position because I can see your shoulders are going to be somewhere around here. So that means you have some sort of curve. So we need to keep that chest proud, that upper back tight, and sit between your heels. You may have to widen your stance a little bit. It was hard to tell because they're slightly out of frame. There we go. This could help. Yep, 1000%. Widen your stance. That's it. That's restricting you from getting down to depth. So at or slightly outside of shoulder width is where I want you to start. Nice. Jeanette, I feel like you're PRing every week. Is that on program?
What? I don't know. This is from the end of last week. I haven't been lifting this week because I'm getting ready for my race. So,
Okay. When's your race?
tomorrow.
Oh. Go faster.
I'm trying to not kill myself this week. So,
That's good. You're recovering a little bit.
but I'm back to deadlifting on Monday. So,
Good. Good. Well,
this is 240, by the way.
yeah, I saw. That's why I'm like, is PRing every week on your program? You put like 10 pounds on a week for the last like 5
Yeah,
weeks.
well, the end of the month, not always. The other weeks, yeah. That's
Stick-
usually how it goes.
Take 240 and turn it into 300.
I'm not quite ready for 300 yet.
No, you're not. But what I'm saying
I can't even do my body weight yet.
but 300 is still 300 pounds in your hand.
Yeah, I weigh around 280, so I can't even do that yet.
I mean, here's the reality: is you're incredibly strong. If you apply of a
But see, I do when I do increase, I do like 5 pounds or whatever each time. It's not like I do 10 pounds at once that week.
no,
I do it
100%.
gradually.
Well, the thing is, with these kind of 1 reps every week, they do cost something. So if we take that and pivot and just simply follow a training block for like 8 weeks, you will get to a bigger pool much sooner. And you have a big deadlift in you. You just need to stay on target with program and let the strength roll on gradually. Because the reality is 1 reps don't make us stronger. They don't.
Yeah, I'm almost in phase 2. I'm almost in phase 3 of maximum strength.
Okay, good.
I haven't decided that I'll probably repeat the program again, so I'm not sure yet.
Well, you respond well to strength training. You're strong. We just need to get you strong in the right direction.
Okay.
Hey, Nick, just a question about the deadlift. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
When you're first, like, to get it off the ground, I've seen it done a couple of different ways at the gym I go to. And I have trouble getting it initially off the ground. Once it's off the ground, I'm good. Should you be trying to use your legs more to get it off the ground, or is it mostly just through the back and through the core? Like,
no,
I end up almost doing a straight leg deadlift when I get it off the ground, even if I start in more of a squatted position.
Your legs are the main mover off the floor. If you're not using leg drive, you're basically stiff leg deadlifting. You're leaving a ton of pounds on the table. Getting it off the floor, odds are, if I had to guess, you're probably picking the first one up, then you're probably doing some sort of an RDL touch and go after that. Do you just basically touch the ground and come right back up when you deadlift?
Yeah, I don't quite get to the ground, but pretty close, yeah.
Then you're not deadlifting. You're throwing away the most important part of the lift.
So what's the secret? What's the secret to getting off the ground then?
There isn't. It's just finding the right. Did you submit a deadlift video?
No, I have to. I just haven't. I hadn't planned on coming today. Today was just I just happened to be home today.
Deadlift, like, if there's no secret. It is getting you in your proper deadlift position and then pushing the ground away with your legs, squeezing your butt, and your glutes and hamstrings finish.
Okay.
From the waist up is the stabilizer. It's load bearing the entire time of the lift. The core is almost always the limiting factor of any lift when it comes to squat and deadlift, especially because it has to bear the weight and keep you from folding in the hinge pattern. But the legs are the main driver. Through quads initially are the heavy driver immediately off the floor, then hamstring glutes take over into some lower back as you rise up. But Everything from the waist up is load bearing. It's doing something. It's just not moving per se the weight. There's no trick. Every rep of a deadlift should be off the floor. Like that's a non-negotiable part of the lift.
Okay.
So submit a form check, and I can get you in position much sooner.
Okay. I mean to do it. I go to the gym alone, so sometimes finding people that video stuff is not the easiest thing to do.
You don't need someone. Just pop your phone up on a water bottle, a shoe, something, a bench.
Okay.
Yeah, I train alone. That's how I record. Sometimes when I'm squatting, I'm wearing my lifters, so I've even taken my flip flop. I prop my phone up against, made like a little T with the flip flop on this side of the phone on this side, and recorded myself. I record all my top sets for my coach, good or bad, just so it's input, because it may not be technique he's looking at, but he's judging speed to make adjustments on certain things, where I'm at, effort, all that stuff. All those things are taken from top set. I don't set in my first sets because I'm fresh. I set in my top sets because under fatigue, especially in a strength sport, power on demand is where the money's made. So when it comes to something like a deadlift, like that is a very big movement pattern, the sooner you give me the information, which is what a video is for me as a coach, I can tell you exactly where you need to be and get you there.
Okay.
Virtually
I'll get it in the next few days. I think I got the deadlift exercise coming up in the next, not next exercise, maybe the one after.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. A lot of this is really good. A lot of this is really, really good. Rodrigo, I hate how you picked up the bar. That's not how we pick up a bar. Deadlift it, just like you normally would. Hang clean, great. The catch, great. The push, was that a jerk? Yeah, there's a little jerk in there. Those are all fantastic. When you catch the bar in the front rack position, I want you to stand up, rebrace, dip, and drive. You're shorting your leg drive. You're doing this is called a reactive press. We do this a lot for conditioning, variation, speed work. I don't need you reactive pressing. I need your cleaner press connected. So when you're cleaning very well, you're push jerking very well, I want you to catch, stand up, squeeze your butt, dip, drive, knees go out over the pinky toe, explode. A little bit of heel elevation here. Rob, you're nailing these. These are beautiful. Chest is staying up. It's got good tempo, good range of motion. Nailed it, dude.
Good, thank you.
Yes,
I
sir.
do have a question, if I can follow up. I have two degenerative discs severely, L4-5, L5-S1, and it's something that I struggle with to find the balance of the amount of weight and what my doctors are comfortable with me doing. And I know there's a difference between the medical folks and the fitness folks and what they say. My back has never been stronger, but I've just started adding weight back. And after hitting those goblet squats 2 weeks in a row at 65, I was compressed when I went in to see the chiro yesterday. Do I stay at that and see how the back, adapts to it, or is that a sign that it's too much?
I don't want you to take this the wrong way. Degenerative disc I fucking hate that term. I
know. I've heard you go on about it before.
60%, I think it's estimated about 60% or more of the world's population walking around with bulged, crunched, partially torn, ruptured, whatever discs, and don't even know it.
Right.
So degenerative discs is what it actually means for the most part, unless there was an acute injury, is wear and tear.
Right. I get that.
So when I've lost 60% of my so to give you some concept of what's possible, my L3 to L5 has lost 60% or more of its spacing. My L5 S1 is torn. My L1 to L3 has lost 50% of its spacing. And they call it degenerative disc disease or whatever.
Right.
It's just a term because we're putting shit on our back. There's gravity on it all day. It's wear and tear. Now, some are worse than others. Depending on where some of the, say, a disc is bulged, it's pinching a nerve, it's very pain symptomatic, sometimes it's not. So, I don't want you, and the reason why I'm whipping out the hammer and I'm hitting hard here is because I don't want you to think this is a colossal limiting factor in your approach.
No, I don't. I don't. I mean, I know mine are severe. I'm almost bone on bone at L5 S1, and this has been something that's there. And I'm a manual therapist, so I get the back and forth, and I find that the fitness community's approach to it is a stronger approach, where the medical approach is limiting and it's weakening, and in my opinion. So I agree with you.
Yes.
I'm just referring to how I feel. Are you heavier? I'm sorry, say that again.
Are you pain symptomatic at all?
Yes.
In what planes, what movements?
So when I'm compressed or theoretically compressed, I feel it lateral lines, IT bands, both, certainly across the pelvic ridge, low back. This week, or actually the last 2 weeks, I've felt it through the adductors, which is why I wanted you to see the goblet squat first. I wanted to make sure I'm doing it right before I decide if I need to adjust. And all of this is based on how I feel.
If compression is what gets you pain symptomatic, there's ways to load below the waistline.
Right.
There's belt squats.
I do that already. I do that instead of the regular squats.
That's totally okay if the compression is what makes you symptomatic. I'm assuming goblet squat is lower on the pain scale than like a back squat.
It is, yeah. And that's what I'm trying to decide is if at my 65, I did 4 sets 10 yesterday at 65, and I feel good today, but I saw the chiro afterwards. So I'm just trying to decide, do I stay at 65? Do I regress and see how I feel? Do I go back to 55 or 60? Or do I stay another few weeks at 65 and see how I feel?
Have you seen a sports physio at all during this?
Yeah, an ortho, and my chiro is a sports chiro. He works with the professional teams here in DC.
What about a sports physical therapist?
I've been to physical therapy a number of times. I've had good ones and I've had not so good ones.
Like a sports specific?
Not
just a physical therapist, like a sports physical therapist.
Yeah. The last one I saw was she would fall into that category.
Okay, because I steer people away from typical when it comes to problems in the gym. I steer people away from just standard physical therapists because sports physical therapists are typically more robust and more aggressive in their approach and their assessment. Their goal is to get you faster and stronger. Whereas physical therapy, in my opinion, they're just to make you better. With something that what you're dealing with, what I'm dealing with, it's permanent. Like, this is going to be something that we're going to have good days and bad days with. We're going to have to pivot when necessary and get on the gas when we have it. So that's how I want you to think about this moving forward is like, accept the terms. There's going to be bad days, pivot when necessary. And when your back's feeling good, you're on it, give it some gas. Make your head happy, make your feel good, take advantage of it. With that being said, I would, on the days where load is supposed to be maximal, I would do belt squat variation. And when it calls for like back squat type stuff. So then we can this is where the compromise is. If we load below the waistline on your maximal load days, that makes us not feel like shit for the days that come after it with a pissed off back, and allows us to get the high effort, the high weight load into the leg drive. And then it'll give us a little more gas on the back end for things like goblet squats or your pressing or whatever comes next. Your movement pattern on the goblet squat is totally fine. I have no issue with it.
Good.
This is where lifting intuitively is a learning process, because you have to know when to give and take. This is where my coach comes in handy. Is I'm pretty good at it, but especially when I'm in prep, I want more and more and more and more and more, even at my own expense. So he's much more of a regulatory platform for me than hey, you need to deadlift better because of this. I know how to deadlift. He knows I know how to deadlift. So that being that pain, ideally, I always tell people rule of thumb, like a 2 to 3 out of 10 or less when it comes to any sort of thing like that. Because I don't want you to add to the problem, but we don't want to completely let off the gas and shy away from it and create a weakness. What'll be really good for you is like time under tension stuff, like static, isometric. So it's funny. Catch, you saw his article. I gave him the most abusive verbal beating yesterday. Because when I initially talked to him, basically he heard what he heard and not what I said. In the sense that the first 4 weeks is going to be predominantly rehab focused before the volume really ramps up in building his back after. And he wanted a compromise when he saw the program in and of itself as a whole was 10 weeks. He's like, we're going to need a compromise. I flew off the fucking handle because it pissed me off. Why are we compromising on something that is helping the back? So it's actually the program my coach wrote for me when my back went out, the 2023. I have permanent nerve damage. There are days that I can't get out of bed. There are days like I have to literally roll off on the floor, get to my hands and knees, prop myself up. It's permanent. I'm living with it. But I can mitigate it and make the tweaks less and less often and less severe through preventative things and how I train and being very strategic on my heavy days. Catch, much like me, loves a heavy deadlift. I love them, but it's something that I know I have to pick and choose when those happen, especially in a prep. Into that prep, I had a 700-pound axle for reps. In training, we worked volume 600 pounds and less, and it made me really, really strong on game day. So it made us stronger. He's going to now understand that, hey, you're no longer in this 4-week program. Send a PR. Those days are over, done, permanent, gone, never happening again. Not just because of the injury, but because there's a point in your strength journey where it becomes a grind, and the longer you do it, the smaller your PRs get. You'll fight for 8 weeks for a 10-pound PR. You will fight for a year for 20 to 30 total pounds on your deadlift. That's normal. That's how this goes. So it's an adjustment period for everyone. Now he's combating with this thing he's realizing is going to be something he's going to have to mitigate and manage for the rest of his lifting journey. And there has to be some sort of strategy. I love his goals. I love his fire. But he's now in a learning phase of, okay, I can't have these unrealistic timelines because the last 2 he failed, and then he finally pulled 470 on this one. But it cost him a 10-week block of rebuilding his back. Learn the hard way. That's what I don't want anyone to do. That's what I was trying to prevent for him, because I care about him. I want to see him make those goals, just like I want to see you guys hit all your goals. So we are actually going to be releasing this program eventually. It's going to be called Bulletproof Back. It is exactly the schematic I use to go from not being able to stand up on my own power to a 700-pound deadlift for reps on game day. on an axle, which is hard. And it's designed for people like you that have very similar problems in a lot of the sense that I have. Because a lot of people deal with these back injuries and don't realize how common they actually are. And not all of them are from lifting. You might have done it somewhere, and the lift is what just made you symptomatic. Catch is a great example of, he's like, my back feels great. Yeah, chill. You're not out of the woods yet. Non-symptomatic doesn't mean not fucked up. It just means inflammation has receded some.
I love to hear you're doing a program on that. I'm all in on that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Agreed.
not for the faint of heart. You're gonna have 60-second static holds with a barbell 1 inch off the ground. You're gonna be doing stuff like that. You're gonna be doing a ton of banded isoclam stuff. It's like you're gonna have to. It's gonna be something you're gonna have to want. I like it. I hate isometric work because my brain doesn't like sitting still. For that reason and that reason alone. But it's going to be a useful tool, I think. And we're going to kind of rework it so it makes more sense in the app. It makes more sense for different experience levels within this. Because we're not going to run you through the gauntlet that he ran me through. I mean, that'd be negligent on our part. But it's going to be the same process, similar movements, and the same basically skeleton that we used. And Catch is about to kind of test run it because he got a verbal berating from an angry coach.
Nick, before we move on, can I just ask what you would like to see from me next? I do belt squats. Do you want to see those, or would you rather see something else?
Anything that where the belt squats for sure. And any other movements where you have you feel like get pain symptomatic after the fact.
Okay.
So I can see how you're. But hey, dude, cool. It's forward from here. It's don't let this. I don't want you to think like shit. My lifting. Yeah, you might not be testing any PRs, but if that's not something you really want to do, I get, the longer I do this, the more excited I get about like 5, 6, 7, 8 rep PRs than I do the 1 rep maxes, because it shows me, man, if I'm pulling this for 8, when I got to send it, we're going to have gas.
Yeah. And, I'd never used a barbell until a couple of years ago. It was always HIIT workouts with light dumbbells. And when I got the barbell, I fell in love with it. And my back has never been stronger. So I'm not going backward. I just want to make sure I'm managing it.
100%. You've got a great approach.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Get that bar a little bit deeper on the shoulder.
Okay.
But how you're holding the bar is fantastic.
Oh, goody.
We could get you squatting a little deeper.
Yeah.
You're about 3/4 of the way there. Your legs have the strength, I promise you, with how smooth and easy that was moving. Do you have any hip mobility restriction or anything like that?
A little bit. Left hip is a little funky.
Okay. Is there pain when you squat?
Actually, no.
Okay. So try and push depth a little bit, even with if it's an empty bar or with no barbell, especially in warm up. When you're warming up, squat with nothing. And I want you to do like 5-second pauses down in the bottom of the hole, all the way at depth. So you go, okay, we can do this. We can live down here. That means I can squat down here. We're just going to play a little mind game.
Now, when you say the bar back further, you mean more on the shoulders?
Yeah, more you want to kind of trapped behind the delt versus out in front of it. So if, like, say you have a rep where you're like, oh man, I'm getting tired, I'm starting to fold, you actually have a fighting chance to keep it up on top of you.
All right, because it kind of goes right into my throat.
Yep.
Okay.
100%. As long as you can breathe, you're good.
All right.
You have to tuck the chin that Jen said.
Yeah,
Tuck the
bit.
chin.
I'm a terrible person to have do it because I've got all this, so you can't really see where my chin. But like tucking the chin doesn't mean doing this. It means just boop, like kind of sucking it back.
I'll try that.
Sounds good. Well
All right,
done.
great.
My head's cold. That rep was good. Keep those eyes up, somewhere in front of you. As soon as your eyes dropped, you started to hinge. Bip. There we go. Michael, these are pretty good squats. I mean you're pretty much right there at parallel. Um, you got deeper as the set progressed.
Yeah.
First rep was the highest. And then as you progress into the set, it's like you're getting comfortable.
I got a question about the submissions generally.
Yeah.
Should we follow your lead and be sending in the videos of the last set, the top at the end?
Yeah, I would prefer that.
Okay.
Because typically when things start to fall apart is when they're tired and then it talks a little bit louder. Generally, when it comes to form checking, first set is okay because if there's any inconsistencies, we'll see it there too. They're just exaggerated, typically by the top set. But also, I'm someone, say I have 5 sets of squats, somewhere between my third and fifth set is usually my best set. It's like the first two, it's like my body had to get with the program. And then the third set, like you're warmed up, you got a little bit of fatigue, but it feels mechanical at that point. And the game is trying to replicate that. So judging, you kind of do it yourself because if you look at this first rep, it looks uncomfortable. Like your feet move right before you sit. Bit, look at that. And then you're high. And then you're like, wait a minute, I'm fine. And then you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. A little deeper. And then you kind of built consistency as the set progressed. So to me, that really, it's just more so just more reps is really gonna kind of where you're gonna be getting your work in, you know, in the sense of movement pattern versus giving you another cue. Because your squat as a whole, yeah, I'd like to see your chest a little prouder. Maybe you could go a little bit wider with how much your hips force you over. The other alternative is potential some heel elevation, and that might open up some range of motion there in the bottom.
Okay. Good.
Those are
Thank you.
things I'd love to see you experiment with, because I can't do it in person. In person, this would take 10 minutes. But I'm gonna have to have you kind of experiment with it and then send me the videos and see what the result is.
Okay.
Well done.
Thanks.
So much.
These look much better, man. I would like to see your hips come back before the knees break, so we don't push forward anymore. Because I got a feeling when these get heavy, what's going to happen is you're going to push into the front, and your hips going to come underneath you, and then you're going to have a fight, and then your hips going to have to track back out to get in position. So break at the hips and then your knees. So when you come back at the hips, these are your hips come back and then your knees break. Then it kind of comes down together. So we sit. But these are looking much better than the last time you submitted. So I'm pleased with how these are ticking along, man. Well done.
I'll go download it then.
These are fine. Nothing wrong with these. Grab some weight. False gripping. Okay. The position looked really good. Yes. I love how he stood up, proper deadlift form, braced, bent over into a row. Look at that. Neutral back, rowing to his belly button, bars right under the shoulders. Beautiful rows. Very strict. Breathing under tension, shallow breaths, maintaining that squeeze. Fantastic job. All right, Shobin. So when you initiate your pull and you brace, look what your hips do if you're still in here.
Yeah, I am here, but I've got someone prompting me that it's me now, but I'm just trying to pull over so I can look at the screen. Otherwise, I'll watch it later.
Yeah, don't get in an accident. So in a nutshell, your
No,
setup
I
looks
won't.
you get yourself into the right position where you need to be. What happens is, as soon as you input power, that midsection collapses and your hips curl right into flexion. So I want you to be conscious of when you brace, if you're not holding position, you're not holding your brace. So I don't think this is a strength issue. I think this is a knowing you're giving the input in your body issue, because you're getting yourself into position. Then as soon as you input, that flexion gives way immediately. And these don't look heavy for you.
No, yeah.
So
Sorry,
what I
keep
want
going.
you to do is focus on fighting to maintain that position in this lower back area. Like, this is all great. Boom, perfect, boom. And then your hips, what happens is your hips cheat forward and then you come into flexion. Your body's trying to get your glutes and quads into it sooner. So you input forward instead of input directly vertical.
So I'm trying to understand exactly. Sorry, I'm looking at it now.
So your input initially is forward. So
Yeah.
here, great position. Then watch your hips. They're going to go bip versus pushing the ground away and then opening up so your hips can get through. You're trying to get your hips through before you're in a position to get them through. So your lumbar is going like this, and you're folding where you're supposed to be bracing here in this lumbar position.
Yeah, because I guess what I'm struggling with is how to not do it, if you know what I mean. So I have been really focusing on the brace, but is it maybe more that I just really need to work the strength of my core?
Partially, but
Um,
what a
do you
lot of people don't
see what I
realize
mean?
is when you're deadlifting and squatting, you're working your core. It's not direct core work, but
Yeah.
it's low, and the lift depends on it. So I think it's a cueing and getting your whole body on the same page. When it comes to not just the bearing down, because like a brace is a brace regardless of how much air you take in. More air doesn't necessarily mean a stronger brace. You want as much air as possible so you have a lot of force to be able to bear down. So like
Yeah.
example, I brace with a lot more air on a deadlift than I do on a log clean and press because the head pressure you get with a log here, I can't, it's more of a press because I'm holding my breath for such a long portion and then it's choking me out. I don't want all that air pressure and that head pressure and that blood pressure so I can settle the log and press effectively. This, when you go into that bear down deadlift, I kind of tell people I want to see a little bit more air and fill up. And then when part of your brace that inhale is dependent on is what you do with your body. So not only are you expanding and bearing down, but you're creating tension with the rest of your body. I'm not bringing my shoulders back. I'm bringing them down my body like they're going down towards my hips.
Yeah.
And what that does is it creates a really rigid midsection because I'm getting my erectors. I'm getting everything else involved to support the core. They work synergistically.
Yeah. Okay. No, thanks, Nick. I'll keep at it.
Literally try and snap the handles with your arms, like pow, and feel that tension go through your
Yeah.
lats, mid back.
One thing I find is that on my left side, just kind of behind, what's the bone that sticks in your shoulder blade?
Yeah.
I kind of feel it there. So I try to be very kind of upright with my shoulders because then I don't feel it. Does that make sense? But I also wonder whether I'm doing something wrong with that bit.
Well, here's the thing. When you're in this hinge pattern position, I don't care if we get thoracic flexion. It's the lumbar flexion that is the risk. I pull in thoracic flexion because I have long arms and a long torso. So it gives me better leverage. And I've got really strong erectors. That's these two things that look like a turtle shell on my back that run the length of my back. So I can rely on those to put me in position. But what I have to focus on is keeping that lumbar intact.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to stack you top to bottom so you can feel what full body tension feels like within that back position.
Yeah.
So snapping the bar and getting that mid back tight also allows you to fight for that lumbar neutral position. That's what it needs to be. Once you do this enough, it'll become passive. You'll just do it automatically. But now when you pull, I want you to focus on keeping that belly button pushed towards the floor and that tailbone to the sky.
Yeah. Like separating them almost.
Bip.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you, Nick. As always.
Yes. My pleasure. Buzz, these are pretty good. I think you're a little wide stance wise, which is making your arms go wide. We don't need the shrug at the top. Does nothing. I want you to bring your feet in to just underneath your shoulders. And I want you to bring your arms directly down the outside of your legs. And I don't want you to think about this whole boom there. Our hips are still behind. So this is a soft lockout. I don't need you to shrug. I don't want shoulders up. I want hips through. Squeeze your butt. Break the bar in half. Everything else, like your brace, your hinge, it looks good. I mean, we have some mid-back flexion, but that lumbar's pretty straight. So nothing catastrophic going on here. We kind of get out of position here. It's because our shoulders are forward and our hips are kind of lagging a little bit. See, look at that. And then you kind of try to sit back with it, and then you shrug instead of finish with the glutes. Beautiful. Sets that lumbar. Accelerates the bar. Hard block out. Lauren, fantastic work.
Yay. Thank you, Coach Nick. I took on board your commentary from when we were at the Pump Club in Birmingham.
Okay.
And I've been trying to focus on like almost like driving myself into the floor before I straighten out. So I'm focusing more on kind of pushing the floor away rather than lifting the bar up.
Question. Are
That
you
makes sense.
deadlifting in lifters, like the heel elevation?
Yes, I am. I have long torso problems, baby.
Well, this is making it harder.
Really?
Yeah, it's bringing you up in a forward position. It's going to create
Oh
eyeball
shit.
closer
Okay.
problems.
Should I just take my shoes off and lift barefoot then?
Yeah, so with a
Okay.
long torso, our hard leverage point is in the midsection, right? So
Okay.
what that would look like with a flat heel. So what lifters are designed to do is open up the hips to create anterior tilt, as in that tailbone up, belly button down cue versus interior tilt where the tailbone curls under. So while that has its advantages. You'll see Olympic lifters deadlifting in them, typically snatch grip, things like that. But you got to remember why they're doing that, because it translates to the full lift. So the clean and jerk, the snatch,
Okay.
it's not necessarily advantageous out of the hole. Where it's advantageous is when they squat jerk and need to really get down in squat position. Yeah. That's where the lift is really coming into giving them that opening up of the hips. So on a deadlift where it's a game of leverage from off the floor to standing up, we don't want to create because what we're doing is not only we are then taking some arm length out of the equation slightly, but slightly is a big difference. For those of you that don't know, the axle diameter on an axle bar is 2 inches versus a barbell, which is much, much, much thinner. The deadlift difference as a result of that diameter change, meaning moving the center of the weight out 1.5 inches or whatever the hell it is, creates like a 60-pound to 100-pound difference in what you're able to pull. So that little bit of diameter changes your leverage advantage. So by elevating your hips, we now have to have a higher hip position, which means we have to get lower on the front end. So if we drop the heels, drop the hips, so what's happening slightly is when we pull, boop, hips kick up. Now we're in our deadlift position. So you're having to drop your butt more there versus hips rise.
Okay.
Now the bar comes off the floor.
Do you know what's funny is I got them because I was so uncomfortable lifting in shoes that had that are designed to cushion because I felt like I had lack of stability.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go barefoot. It's totally fine.
Barefoot shoes, barefoot, all of that is optimal. Like when some competitions they make you wear socks, others they make you wear shoes. But I will, if they don't specify it in the rules, I will walk out there barefoot, run the gauntlet, and get a slap on the wrist after. I don't give a fuck. Like, I do what's most advantageous for me. So I prefer barefoot because I got 10,000 BC feet and shoes don't really fit anyway.
I have feet like a hobbit, so I'll be fine. They are big, wide feet. The other thing is, just to ask, does this translate to the squat as well? Because I do wear my lifting shoes in the squat.
No, those are fine. Those are fine.
Okay, because I do feel like it helps me in the squat because of the long torso problems. It elevates me enough that I don't need to I don't tip forward as much.
It's not your torso that it's helping.
Yeah,
it's it's hip. So what it does with I'm flat-footed. I already naturally have more anterior tilt just because of strength athletes. We kind of walk around anterior tilt because our posterior chain is so overdeveloped. But if I try to go neutral, right here versus watch when I go on my tippy toes, what happens to my butt?
Okay.
It opens up that tailbone coming up. So what that looks like in a squat is you get deeper before that lumbar has to go into flexion to make up the rest, or the butt wink, before you get a bigger range of motion out of it, because it puts you in, it makes it easier to get into anterior tilt with that heel elevation. That's why Olympic lifters wear them. It opens up the hips. For me, I can squat in barefoot. It's fine. But I feel a little bit more pressure in my hips because of the position allows me to open up my hips with the anterior tilt.
Okay.
So it's not your torso. The torso, what mitigates the torso leverage is high, mid, and low bar squatting. If I'm squatting, I sign up for powerlifting meet and I want a big total, I low bar squat. So what that does is it drops me from, if I'm high bar squatting, the weight has more leverage, more dictation on the torso.
Yeah.
I bring that bar lower down my back. Yes, I start here, but I've shortened essentially my torso length by bringing down the bar. So because I'm short femored and long torso, it allows me to take advantage of my short femur length and mitigate some of that disadvantage of the long torso that could otherwise make me fold by dropping the bar and really getting down into it. So
yeah, I've actually, based on some of your previous commentary, not that you've seen my squats, but I have actually lowered the bar further onto my back and widened my stance, which has really, really helped a lot. So I think I'll send those in next for you to have a look at.
Good. You had the right idea. You just, the intention was there. The execution didn't make sense, but I see where your head was at with it. I like how you're thinking about it. You're playing the leverage game, which I like to hear.
Just any advantage to get up those numbers. just want to deadlift heavier.
Well done.
Thank you. There were two of them. I did a front as well. I didn't know if you needed that.
Well, we'll take a look.
There are some ugly faces in here. Gotta tell you.
Bring your arms in right down the side of your legs.
Okay, closer together. Yeah.
When you spread out, it brings you. You want to utilize that long torso. That long torso then creates an advantage by, if we go here, it allows our shoulders to start higher.
Okay. Yep. Nice. Okay.
Cerberus figure eights. I've broken so many figure eights over the years.
I really like them. I have arthritis in my fingers, so my grip strength is pretty good, but sometimes my fingies just don't want to obey me and I dump weights.
Yeah, they tie you to the bar, that's for sure.
They do indeed. Thank you, Coach Nick.
Yes, ma'am. April.
Just a quick question on deadlifts real quick. This morning, now that you know that I did that PR at 280, this morning I had 4 sets of 7 reps. I did those at 205. The last set I only got 5. But do you think that's too light?
No, because last set you had to drop off. You kind of hit the nail right on the head.
Okay. I didn't know if there was like a specific percentage. I keep trying to do the first set mindset, but sometimes that shit just gets in my brain and I'm not sure.
Let me see. Shit, wrong button. 207. I mean, that's 75%. Like when I prescribe rep work, or 74%. When I prescribe rep work, typically 6 to 8s are around 70 to 75%.
Okay, great.
Well done.
Okay, thanks. Sorry. Thanks.
Bring the bar a little bit lower, Sandip. That's like right on your neck. We don't want it actually on our neck. We want it a little bit more on our trap line. With that being said, you see how you go down, you try to keep your hips underneath of you. Let your hips hinge back so you can keep that chest proud. It's pushing you so far forward. You've got great ankle mobility, but it's pushing you forward, which is why the rest of your body's like kind of folding on itself. So if you bring your hips back and keep that upper back squeezed together, it should feel like a much more natural position.
Yeah, I find that well, that one I think since I took that video, I added 10 pounds, and I'm finding that the first set is usually my best, and then the next two are like I'm like not a struggle, but it's like I have to work for it.
It's position because you're basically the barbell's kind of on your neck. B, you're trying to squat and you're going so far forward, you have to squat in this position. So you're kind of like this hunched over versus allowing that hinge to happen and keeping that upper back together and maintaining and keeping this all supported.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. I think I got it.
So are these supposed to be conventional or stiff leg or?
Yeah, just conventional.
So this is close to an RDL because you're getting no leg drive.
Okay.
Basically, we want to drop this butt so our knees bend. Our knees are going to come forward a little bit. Our hips are going to drop. Same thing. We want to pull that back together. This is what we want to avoid. This is flexion. We want a nice flat lumbar. So you're doing all back right here, basically. Your back is getting an incredible workout. That's not what we want. It's going to get worked out either way. We just don't want to stress. So the belt, I hate to tell this to you, the belt's doing absolutely nothing right now. Take that off. Learn how to brace first. Because if you don't have the brace ingrained, the belt is useless. So with that, same thing. We want to, the first part of the pull is actually our legs breaking it off the floor. So we want to be in this position with a nice neutral lumbar. And then we push the bar off the floor with our legs. And then our glutes squeeze and finish the lift. The back, the mid back, the lumbar, the upper back, it's just load bearing. The hinge is happening with our hips gliding back and forth. So we're going to drop our hips. We're going to bring that chest up because your hips are higher than your shoulders. We're going to drop our hips significantly, bring that chest up, and really pull in that. Think about turning your tailbone to the sky and pushing your belly button to the floor. So it's this motion. Cat-cow.
Okay.
I want to see your squat and your deadlift a week from now.
Okay, we'll do.
We'll iron this out.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Colin, I already like how this looks. This is what I wanted. Look how much deeper you're getting.
Thanks, Nick.
Now that we have the correct technique for the hat field, I
Yeah.
want you to push for even more depth.
Okay.
I want you to get uncomfortably low.
Okay.
Because what we're trying to focus on is you recruiting all of your body and generating stability on a long movement pattern.
Okay.
So the tempo, how you're descending is fantastic. I love the nice slow eccentric, and you're popping up out of the hole. So as you're doing this, see how those heels are getting light?
Well,
I want you to
got my right foot is lifting up.
I want you to go slightly wider, like not a bunch,
Okay.
just a little bit. And I want you to actively imagine. So these are your feet. I want you to input pulling the floor apart with your feet, and you're going to feel the outside. Do you remember how when I worked with you in person, had you holding on to the weight tree?
Yeah.
I had you pulling the ground apart, and you felt the outside of your legs and your glutes light up?
Yeah.
That's what I want you to do. And I want you to do that because what that's going to do is going to recruit more of your body. And with you, stability is king. If we create stability here, we can then progress this to an actual back to, like, say, a goblet squat or something, or hands free. So what we're trying to do is create the biggest movement pattern possible in a squat and get you generating stability from top to bottom. And what we're doing is we're teaching you how to trick your body into becoming stable.
Like my love for do things in the ball that the other ball was weakening.
The only other thing, the main things I want you to focus on is sitting lower, pulling the floor with your feet. This posture from the hips up, I love. It looks fantastic.
Okay, so I need to go out to one town.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Well done, Colin.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Hey, enough. Thank you. Their dogs are getting rowdy.
Sorry about my dog.
Hi, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Yes, sir. This was good. Your hips are just a little low. You see how you tip forward? You set your back great. It works. That hip position works on deficit because you have to, because it's a deficit. Your hips just need to come like an inch higher on the starting position. And you should feel easier to get your back into position on that as well.
I felt that if my knees are more forward on the left screen, it's easier to get the lower back straight. While on the right side, if my knees are right beside my elbows, then it's very hard. Even though I'm pushing my belly button to the floor, it doesn't want to curve to get straight.
That's because this on the left side here, it's a deficit. So you're required to fold more at the knees, which means they're going to be more forward. This, your body has a higher starting position because you're not elevated by plates. So this is good. This isn't bad, but it feels different because it is different. So the starting position has to reflect that. My butt is incredibly lower on a deficit as well. It has to be. So if you look on this right-hand side, when you pull, your hips are going to go bit, and then you're too far underneath yourself and too bent at the knee versus kicking your knees back a little bit, pushing your butt up so the input's immediate. so you don't get that rotation when you input of your butt kicking up and you rotating forward. So your deadlift on a deficit is going to be different slightly than it is on a conventional, on a standard pull. So the standard, the only thing that needs to change is his hips need to come up to right about here. Look at that. Shoulder over the bar, hips are where they need to be. And that's when the bar actually breaks off the floor. And then it comes straight up.
So that would be the perfect position.
Yes.
For me.
Right.
Because I struggle a lot with the starting position.
Yes. So right here. So your hips, literally, just raise your hips a little bit. It's going to automatically suck your knees back because there's going to be less bend and you'll be in position.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm trying to keep tension into the bar by pulling a little bit with my legs so that my hips goes up. But then
you're overthinking this. You're colossally overthinking this. Raise your hips an inch, everything else will fall in line.
Okay, I'll try that. But as you know, it's always the beginning, the starting position that you comment on for my deadlift, and I thought that comparing the elevated the one on the left, I thought it would show you that I'm able to have my back straight, but only if my knees are much forward. So
that's not true.
No,
because we worked your deadlift down from the floor. Remember from working down the floor. So that the reason why it works here is because it's a different pull. It's a deficit deadlift. You're higher, so your knees have to be more bent, which is going to put them more forward.
Yeah. So I thought maybe for the right screen, like the standard deadlift, I would need to bend a little bit more my knees so that it helps the lower back to get straight.
No, because it changes your pull position.
Okay.
So this works because of the foot elevation. That's why this makes sense. Because your body is putting itself, because you've had a lot of reps at this point, your body knows generally where to be. And it was doing what was required to put you in position here. The standard, you're letting your brain get in the way of your body.
Yeah.
So this, what it does is, it's because of that knee bend, it's pulling your hips under.
Mm-hmm.
It's pulling them out of position versus softening, bringing the knees, sucking the knees back by bringing your hips up will allow that to go from here to allow you to get to here.
But wouldn't that push my shoulders forward?
Not necessarily. So if it does, what it means is you've set up too close to the bar. So if your knees come back, if your hips come up, your knees suck back and pushes you forward, then you literally, the correction for that is literally just doing this. But not fixing it here. So we go bip, and then we just sit back. You see how none of this all changed?
Yes.
So I'm not adjusting my shoulders with my knees and my hips. I'm adjusting my knees with my hips, and then I'm just tilting back, but my pull angle doesn't change.
Okay, and what about my shins are all bleeding? Like even though I have those socks, they are too thin. But like it means that I am really pulling towards. Like it means that I am sitting into the position.
It means you're keeping the bar close.
Yes. So it means that I'm already sitting in the position, trying to move my hips up, but then for some reason it's from one form check to the other. I'm still not getting in the exact position.
It's not gonna happen all at once. It's not.
No, for sure.
Fine tune is harder than overall rebuild. It is. what I'm doing with, say, Sandeep's deadlift is going to happen faster than you getting your hips fine-tuned in the right position every single time, because they're big motor skill movements. They're big movement patterns, and you can feel them. This is subtle. This is harder. This is polishing. This is it's not going to be like, oh man, I got it, I'm good. No, it's going to be like, okay, I got it on that rep. Ah, shit, I didn't have it on the rest of the reps looking at the video. Then the next training session, oh, I got it on 2 reps out of the 5. Then a month from there, you're going to get it 60% of the time. It's something you've got to. This is where overthinking shit's going to make this process really fucking hard for you, because you can't come into this with perfection. Because even me, I've been competing at a professional level a decade. Not all of my reps are perfect. Doesn't mean I'm not trying to make them perfect, but not all of them are perfect. So these little adjustments are just gonna take longer to make consistent because they're so small, they're hard to feel. So this is why I'm telling you, you're like, but if I do this, I do this. I don't want you to think about any of that. I want you to just bring your hips up an inch and stop, shut the fuck up.
Okay. Well, I would like to shut my brain, but
Easier
the
said
other
than done.
the other thing the other thought I have is I'm doing maximize your strength, so I'm always aiming for the maximum weight I can do for like 3-4 reps. So maybe I am I should drop the weight.
You're about to hit me with some overthinking logic right now. You're doing it. You're standing there with a gun, and I'm trying to pull it out of your hand while you're constantly trying to stop. Bring your hips up an inch. Keep doing what you're doing with weight. You're progressing astronomically. This we will fix, but we're gonna fix it one little movement at a time, not all at once.
All right. Thank you very much for the encouragement, and it brings me confidence a lot.
I want to slap you. Just bring your hips up like an inch, let your knees suck back, and then send me the video, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Thank you. I was about to go in the opposite direction to lower the hips, but okay.
No. Let me do my job. You do your job.
All right. Thank you.
Benoit, getting slapped by Nick is a goal, so you're doing good.
You're doing fantastic, Benoit. We just need to shut your brain. What is it with my French people? They're all overthinkers. You guys overthink everything.
They just surrender to their thoughts.
I have an underthinking problem, and I'll deal with the repercussions later. I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum to a detriment. Smooth brain, fast brain, as I like to say.
All right, here at my last rep, I fall forward. So is it?
You fell forward.
Yeah, well, you'll see. I lose balance, and I walk. I'm gonna walk, like this. So like I
lost balance. It happens.
Yeah.
Don't think it is like some. Hear me out. Let's turn the brain off. You lost balance. It happens.
Okay.
That's it. It just happened. Every other rep looked mechanically the same. I'm not worried about you losing balance on a rep. There's nothing catastrophically going wrong. You just fucked up.
Okay. I thought maybe the feet were wrong, or maybe I'm pulling the bar too far away from my chest.
Stop. You fucked up. It happens. It's okay.
Okay. All
You
right,
guys
thank you.
saw the video that we used as a thumbnail where I almost decapitated myself with an axle clean, right? I fucked up. I fucked up. It happened. Let it happen.
All right.
Benoit, I actually have a tip for you about your shins. You said they are already bleeding. You could probably find the barbell without the knurling in the middle, so it's sliding easier.
It's not the knurling in the middle that bites. It's the knurling on the sides where your hands are.
Okay, but his shins are bleeding, so I thought there are barbells without.
So I deadlift with a deadlift bar. It has no knurling in the middle. But
Okay.
due to my leg width, as I come up, the end of the knurling still contacts my shins. So if you get a bar with no knurling, you might as well just have an axle in it. Or what some people do, Benoit, actually, is they use kinesio tape and they tape their shin vertically, and it kind of helps save it. Or get some thicker socks. Or I deadlift in leggings, and even then, I still get some abrasion. But I wear my deadlift scars with pride, so I just accept it as a thing that comes with the territory. It means I'm doing it right.
I saw people purchasing soccer player socks. I don't know if it's too thick.
I don't wear them. I wear leggings, like long spandex, especially on humid days when it sticks to the skin and it's very humid here in the summer. That's what I do. Some people use baby powder. I don't feel like dealing with that mess. I'd rather just bleed. Your rows look fine. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Your rows were perfect.
Okay.
I don't want to hear some overthinking thing that you think you're doing wrong. Your rows were perfect.
Thank you, Nick.
Yes, sir. All right, Nita.
Hey, Nick. I tried this with elevated heels because I was concerned. I feel like I'm folding too much, too far forward, and I've been working on it, and I can't seem to fix it. So I tried, elevating the heels in case it's a dorsiflexion issue.
It's not.
I don't know.
It's just a like a movement pattern issue. And knowing where to input. One, I would switch to holding the dumbbell underneath the bell like this, so you can get your body. So you're here, right? So if we switch to here, it means we can get the dumbbell closer, we can get it higher, and we can get our back tight.
Okay.
So we can generate some tension with our back and brace and actively drive up as we come up into the dumbbell to keep our chest higher. It's going to be an active input for you. Some people it's passive, some people it's active. And when everyone starts out with an active input, over time it becomes passive. It's just something you do.
Okay.
That's all. It's
I've just been struggling.
These aren't bad as is, but we can definitely get you to not fold as much.
Yeah. Because I didn't know if it was that, it feels like my core is weak because I just can't, hold my body up or what the heck.
How long can you plank for?
I don't know. I haven't planked because of my shoulder.
Okay.
So I haven't done that in a long time. I guess I might be able to do that now since I'm getting where I'm more pain-free. Might have to try that. But I'd always just killed my shoulder before, so I didn't do it.
You could do like if you have like some sort of like bench or something, like the couch there, you could do some sort of like V sit up hold where you like have your hands at your sides sitting on the ground and you kind of rock back and use your legs as a counterbalance. See how long you can hold that position, generating time under tension in the core. Just kind of see where you're at, and you can use that. The only reason I'm saying this is you can use that. It's basically a test, and you can periodically do it to see, oh, I held it for more time. Oh, I held it for more time. I'm getting strong. Like, just is for your own mental
Yeah. I kind of like Benoit. The brain comes in and
Exactly. But yeah, nothing catastrophically wrong here. Get up underneath the dumbbell, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and focus on keeping that chest proud and see how that looks.
okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, April.
Yeah, not as good this week, but okay.
Not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You're not as good is so astronomically better than you're good, like from 6 months ago.
Good. So that part's true.
So like I'm not really gonna feed you with anything here.
Okay.
We could push for a half inch deeper.
Yeah, and I agree. I just wanted to check in because that's what I do. So there you go.
No,
Keep
you're
at it.
kicking great. Keep pushing for that extra half inch on depth. But your bar path and everything, we have a mechanism now. You draw your
Yep.
places on the floor, so your foot setup's the same. You've eliminated a bunch of variables. You're getting very like mechanically consistent, which, as I was telling Benoit, is hard to do. Like Benoit, to reinforce what I told you, April has been in this like fine-tune period for like months, but she's getting better. It's very hard to do. It's the hardest part of lifting. It's like once you learn the motor skill, then the strength gains become harder to get because those beginner gains, as I call them, weren't total strength gains. They were learning the movement pattern, and you got more and more efficient. So we progress really fast. Like the first 2 years of lifting are always the most amount of progress because you're like, holy shit, I'm getting strong. Yes and no. You're moving better. You're moving more efficiently. You're winning the leverage war. And then once we've optimized, now we're doing what we're doing with people like Benoit and April, where we're grinding for those little minute adjustments, but strength gains are now taking over and they're harder and harder to get because our movement pattern's already efficient, like 90%, 80%, whatever, high end efficiency. And then you're actually seeing on paper the strength gains happening, and you're like, holy shit, it's slowing down on plateau. No, you're not plateaued. It just takes longer because you're actually working on pure strength at this point. So,
Yeah, I actually did. I went up 10 pounds just for the hell of it. Just because, and I won't go up anymore. I'll just keep at this. I just want deeper. So I'll just keep going. My goblet squats look great now. My goblet squats, I'm really deep. So I'm hoping that transfers to this a bit better.
it might, but it doesn't for everyone. But we'll
Okay.
see.
All right. Thanks for that. Thanks. Bye.
Picked it up. Fantastic. Progressively get more and more upright.
Yeah. Okay.
I drop it a little bit more. I want to see
Damn.
you. I want to see more in that hinge pattern. If you weren't so new to the movement holistically, I'd let it rock and let you push for weight a little bit. But I want you comfortable being able to get in position, keep it there, and execute.
Okay. Thank you.
And then the weight will come on. You're in the minority for women because you want to throw on weight and rip. Whereas like, a lot of women proceed with caution. Men like to throw on weight and rip. And I think, as my experience as a coach, men have more of an ego going into the weight room because they're men, they're supposed to be strong. They don't want to look like a bitch when nobody actually cares. Whereas women, they want to actually just learn, in my experience. Like, they ask way more questions, but they're usually like good questions. Whereas dudes are like, when can I squat heavy? And I'm like, when you know how to fucking squat, idiot. And you get a plethora, and then you have people like Benoit and Amelie who overthink it, and you're like, You're strong. Just let yourself be strong. So like you are the grip it and rib it type where you want to throw some weight on and you move well. You don't move bad. Even like this position, you're not in a bad position. Your hinge pattern's not compromised. You're not folding. You're just a little upright. Look at those guns. Like the pythons came out today, dog.
So should my knees be bent a little more than I guess? Like a little more.
You could go a little bit wider even. I have a little bit wider in a row stance, mainly because I try to correlate it of how I'm picking up a sandbag or a stone.
Okay.
Things like that for me in strongman. So you could probably go a little bit wider and it might feel a little bit better.
Because I noticed I'm also doing this goofy thing where I start wide, I pick it up, and then for whatever reason I'm like bringing my feet in because I thought they were supposed to be closer together,
You
but
start in like a deadlift position.
yeah, and then you'll see I bring them in.
In that
So then
position, let's see what happens.
Okay,
But this is better. We just need a little bit more.
a little more. Gotcha. Thank you.
You said this last time and it wasn't shit. Not shit.
But it still needs so much work. I'm like the Tin Man. I'm jerky.
You're explosive. You're not jerky. If you were jerky, you'd be bending at the arm off the floor and then jerking on the bar. You're not jerky. You move. These are speed reps. This is speed work. I don't know what the movement pattern called for, but you could probably get, let me see how you are at the bottom. You could probably get a little bit closer, meaning you do it on your second rep, I think. Yeah. You close that gap by simply dropping your hips a little bit more. You need to put some fucking weight on the bar. So your volume work isn't just a bunch of speed work. The only other thing is don't bend your arm at the top. See that? You don't want to load that bicep, which it's light enough, not really matters right now. But as you get heavier, you need to let yourself get on the gas pedal because this isn't shit. This is fundamentally getting a lot right. But I think this is perfect timing because I was just talking about how the ladies are the ones that are always like trigger shy to throw weight on the bar. And here you are, you whip out a speed set and technically pretty sound at that. And I just need you to load the bar. Like realistically, I want to see what happens when you pull heavier. That's where you're at.
Okay, question, because I mean, I know it's personal preference. There's probably, that was my birthday, so I did 105.
Okay.
So I mean, I got tired, but yeah, and my grip. So I've got to work on my grip strength. So
Tired from moving explosively. Look at look what happens if you drag a sled with 200 pounds for 50 yards and you're trudging along. That's like your strength per se. Versus if you flat out sprint hard as fuck for 50 yards, I'm gonna guess you're gonna be equally tired in two very different ways. See what I'm saying?
Understood.
So that power input is tiring. And it's not bad. Speed work is very important. We are going to be doing a conjugate program, but that is conjugate undulates heavy in speed work. So it's a very specific style of training. It is another one that is going to be an advanced program that we will have prerequisite programs before you're even allowed to do it, because conjugate is like, it comes from Westside Barbell, right? Like Westside Strength really put conjugate on the map. It's how I peak for anything world record with the 1 rep max. Conjugate is really, really, really good. It's my favorite thing to run as an athlete because it for me, it puts on a ton of maximal strength. So with that, you need to expose yourself to some struggle. Because yeah, you tired, but like if I were to time each of these reps, I bet there's a 1/10 of a second deviation. which is not fatigue. Shut the fuck up.
Okay. And okay, so I'll slow down, go heavier. Do I do a full stop? Because you sometimes say to people, no more touch and go.
Yeah, dead stop. Dead stop,
Okay.
re-brace, pull.
Okay. And it's probably making sense of why I'm also fatigued, because I was a little bit on the struggle bus at the end with my brace, like keeping my brace, my grip, and all the things because I'm going too fast. Okay. Heavier, slower, full stop, or dead stop, I think. Okay.
So the trick on deadlift is having a hard, powerful input without jerking on the bar. And you do that naturally. Look at that, pure acceleration. The amount of people in here that we're still trying to get them to accelerate the bar, and you're like, these are shit. I'm like, these are textbook. So I would just load the bar. Just load the bar, please.
Okay, I will do. I've only been doing technically deadlifts for a few months, only because I had to stop because I had a bit of a low back tweaked issue. So my physio got me in shape. So thank you. And I got my hips where they should be because of your help. So, okay.
As you get heavy, you might have to be a little bit more patient off the floor, and that's okay as long as you have the acceleration input.
Okay.
But I want to see you pull. I want to see you hit these rep ranges where like you're working much harder towards the end of the set to the point like maybe your top set you even have to drop weight.
Okay. Noted.
You're strong. Let yourself be strong.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Well done. Good. Yes. Stand up. Nailed it. That is a clean and press, folks. Look at this. He cleans it. He catches it. He stands up. He gets his brace. Dip and drive. Boom. Press to the back of his head. I can't see what it looks like from the side, but it looks like his dip and drive on the second rep was much shallower and explosive, which is what we want. We want explosive. We don't necessarily need deep. Dip in. Keep on keeping on, my dude. These were fantastic. I want to see what you can do with a clean and press. This is fun. People didn't really start clean and pressing on these form checks till like the last, I don't know, 2 months. Ooh, is this from the side angle? I can see what the knees and the hips are doing. Good. Yep. Stacked. Good. I like this. All right. So the only thing I want you to focus on, knees go out more over the pinky toe. Here's why. So look where we start in the drive. We dip. See how we deviated slightly forward? This is some fine-tuned shit. This is like the shit my Olympic coach was focusing with me on. We have that deviation forward. Means the knees are tracking forward. We're starting to hinge because we're running out of mobility. So if we shallow out the dip, our knees track out over our pinky toes, so our hips travel straight, and we keep our back peeled together, and you throw over your head, that will eliminate that deviation entirely. But overall, this is if you did this for the next decade, you'd be clean and pressing just fine. But I want to make you great. Yes, Ian. Patient heavy pull. I like it. Taking another bite. Yes, sir. So as you see, as the set progressed, that brace broke down. It happens with heavy pulls, but it wasn't an incredible amount. He didn't start off that way. That was fatigue. That wasn't technique management. Well done. Nailed these. Ecstatic with this set, Ian. Sound front squat.
He stopped overthinking.
He did. Yeah, he was another one. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
Ben, are you still in here?
Yes, sir, I am here.
I want you to watch this unrack and tell me what you think I'm about to say.
I think you're going to tell me that I should take a moment to reset my shoulders.
My
Yes.
man. My man.
Because looking at it again, I'm saying, you know, I think I reached up a bit further than I needed to.
But look at this. You start to fight. Your bar path presses back up towards your face. Look, there's no movement in this lower body. You're generating full body tension. You're doing so much right here. Just make that unrack mechanical. Unrack, out, back tight, press. Keep it that
Definite
simple.
weak link. Absolutely.
It's not a
Smooth
weak
brain.
link. It just will make something that you're doing well even better.
No, absolutely. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Easy money there, big dog.
I love easy money.
Who doesn't?
Yes, I've been told off here because I let my head bob forwards. Apparently that's bad.
Who told you off?
Oh, just somebody that I've been speaking to about form things in the middle. I converse with lots of people, you see.
That's hard not to do. I mean, anybody who does a heavy row, you're going to see that.
Yes.
Trying to get that extra range of motion. I'm honestly not that worried about it. Yeah, you could cancel it, but it's not going to make a fucking difference. How much?
That's good.
Let me ask you this. The person that told you that, how much can they row?
I have no idea.
Do you
That's
deadlift?
105 kilos, so I don't know.
Do you deadlift more than them?
Again, I've never really asked. Perhaps I should. I don't know.
You should do the.
I do respect
what's
him
your
greatly,
deadlift?
though.
And if yours is more, tell me to shut the fuck up.
Well, my barbell, my straight barbell, I've managed to do 160 before my back started to complain. Kilos, of course, that is. And the trap bar, I've done 195 successfully.
This is pretty sound. I don't have any issues with this. If you want to cancel that little head bob, by all means, go ahead. This is where rows are one of the lift where there's so many variations that little deviation I'm not worried about. You have a good hinge setup. You have a neutral spine, and you're being a man about it. No attachment, just double fist in that bar, dog. Just letting her eat.
Yes, absolutely. Go full orangutan at any opportunity.
Love it. I'm happy with these, man.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
If I had 4 thumbs, I'd give them to you.
You can have 2 of mine. Thank you, chap.
Always. These look good. The only other thing would be it looks like you're really far over. I'd like to see a little bit more upright, but it's really hard to tell, and it could just be the angle playing tricks on me. Lillian, I know what a Bulgarian split squat is. You don't need to put AKA rear foot elevated split squat. Yeah, I want to see more upright. Boom. Keep as vertical as possible here. Just because he's Air Force, he thinks he's smarter than the Army grunt.
Never. Go Army.
I like to get shit to
Yeah,
keep
go
that
Navy.
that branch rivalry alive. Good control, good tempo. Michael, these are awesome.
Yeah, I think I've maxed out for a while.
I mean, you're moving these great. I am very happy with your pull progression. It's sound, it's strong. Well done. Keep ticking along. There is no reason to live if you can't do deadlift. Anybody who said that? Pop quiz. He is from Iceland. I'll give you that.
I have a quick question, Nick.
Or
Yeah.
Bjorn.
No, it is John Paul Sigmarsson.
Ugh.
Go ahead, Michael.
You were talking about PR should be about, reps should be about 70% of your PR.
It's not, it should be. So like
it's around.
So example, that workhorse program, there are ramping sets where you increase in weight and drop in rep range. So a lot of rep ranges that are percentage based around 70 to 75% typically land in the 6 to 8 rep range, just as scale goes.
I was just backing into the numbers of what my target PR would be, and it kind of made my jaw drop.
So in a good way?
In a good, well, in a holy fuck way.
Good.
Because those reps are 285, and that means that the PR is somewhere in the 380 range, and I'm like, oh no, ow.
I mean, that makes sense. Those are pretty smooth, but it again, those are ballpark. Those aren't like guaranteed that's where you'll land, and it also depends on the day. Like you could smoke a set at 70%, you're like, fuck, I had 10 in me, and then you have 60% on the bar a week from there, and you're like, dear God, what happened? And that's just where you're at that day. That's all that is. So that's why I use it as like a rule of thumb. And percentage-based programming is a guide. It's not like it's not like, oh, I have to hit 70%. No, like if you're working up and 50% is moving slow, you might land at 65%, and that's okay because that means you're hitting the target effort. Percentage-based isn't actually about the number. It's about the effort, and it's just a different way to go about it.
Okay. Just trying to get a feel for the range and what the universe looks like. Thanks.
You've got a big pool coming. That I have no doubt.
Yeah.
When you were telling me your numbers, I'm like, you're going to exceed those. There's, if not when you mean to, but eventually.
Yeah. Patience. Thanks.
Yes, sir. And these are awesome. I'd like to see a little bit more acceleration on the way up and a big squeeze in the glute, but your hinge pattern is beautiful.
Great,
Range
thank you.
of
This is
motion.
it's a new movement for me, so thank you. I appreciate
It
that.
doesn't look new. That's a good thing. You're doing these very well. Add a little bit more weight, and you're doing these. No issues there. Just a little bit more acceleration, big glute squeeze.
Great, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Jonathan, these are great. When you're setting it down, bring it down the same way you come up with it. Hinge, bend the knee. You could probably drop your butt slightly. Again, fine tune, little bit. See if we can get a little bit more leg drive out of that. But otherwise, your deadlifts are looking really good. I would go slightly more forward and try and ease down into that depth. We want a big range of motion here to really get full use of that quad. So I'd take a little half foot length step outward. Even drop weight if you have to, or go body weight and get used to that, a bigger range of motion. Clean and press.
Don't laugh.
Elise, I mean this in the most endearing way possible. You are adorable. Just the caution that you even had in bringing the bar up was just like, I could see the thought and the unsureness. It was so, what's the word I'm looking for?
Dainty?
Genuine, like, I don't know what I'm doing and I know it.
Yes.
So with that being said, you know what? This is refreshing because normally, like, I've never done this before, and then you send a video and it's like it's fine. So now we actually have something that we can really, really dig into. So this is exciting. So this is all good. Keep your butt where it was. Right there. That's fine.
So
if you-
don't drop the butt before you.
Yeah, if you were like snatching, this would be kind of where you want to be, but you're not snatching.
Okay.
Where you're at here is fine. Then from there, we want to create a straight bar path. Don't think of it as you're kind of going around the world.
Yes.
And it is because it's so light, you can.
Right.
Think about it as a high pull and a catch.
Oh.
Where you just snap underneath.
Okay.
Like, it's literally, I don't have anything besides a firearm. Oh shit!
You need a Swiffer.
Basically, we want to create a straight bar path and rotate around the bar. We don't want to move the bar around their body. So,
Okay.
the bar path is the name of the goal in everything we do, outside of like a kettlebell swing.
So do your hands move around the bar, or it's just like?
Well, this bar, I'm
fist?
assuming, doesn't spin. So you can just rotate the thing because it doesn't have big weights on the end, so you can just spin the bar, like the whole bar. Just flip it. A normal barbell spins. The bar spins separately from the collars.
Sure.
So as you catch it, what actually happens naturally is you kind of loosen your grip, and then the bar rotates as your hands spin with it. That's why bars rotate. For anybody that didn't know, is because of Olympic lifting. That's why bars rotate. Lifting with a bar that didn't rotate would change things. The axle doesn't rotate, it's welded. So this movement is pretty much why barbells rotate.
Okay.
So you come up and you just flick, like you just flick under and catch it. So you would come straight up, your hips would come all the way through into extension. So you're in, it's an explosive movement. This is not something you can do gingerly.
Okay.
It's not the purpose of the lift. It's not the way it's designed. And it's not the way it's executed. So this is an explosive movement in every step of it, from the clean to the press. There is violence in motion. So when you come up to here and you're getting through, you actually have triple extension. You see how my shoulders leave plane and go behind my hips? So,
Yes.
so when we're pulling, then we catch and then we stand up. So as this progresses, the reason you're even able to do this is because of how light it is for you.
Okay.
A working weight, that wouldn't be happening.
Okay.
That bar needs to be here.
Okay.
And this is good. Look at this. Look, we got on our toes. This is good. This is what we want to see. We almost triple extension. We're there. We're flirting with it. We're saying hello. But you didn't quite get those hips through because you didn't have to. Because again, it's light.
Right.
But that doesn't mean. So I would start for you. I would start with a hang clean.
A what?
Hang clean. It's where you see people going bit and catching it from above the knee. They're hanging it like in a rack pull position.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'd rather see you start there so it's less to digest.
All right.
And then let's check out your press. So we want those elbows high. I mean, you have the right idea. But because your elbows aren't high, you actually press out front. See how that bar goes away from you? You had great leg drive. Those are all good. And then you want to press towards the back of your head, like towards your ponytail.
Okay.
So let's start with a hang clean. Then once we get all of that down, from there up, we can go to the floor and then put it all together.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
I think I'll try it I'll just reduce the weight on my barbell and try it with that instead of the weighted bar, because the weighted bar is actually thick and it's maybe it might be easier to do it with just a regular barbell. So that way that rotation will be more natural, I guess.
I agree. This is
okay.
fun.
Well, this is better than I thought it was gonna. I expected a chuckle, but it's better
It was just
than I thought.
I've just seen someone do a clean and press so gingerly. Like it was the most gentle thing that's supposed to be incredibly not gentle, and you managed to make it gentle, which it's funny because that suits you. You're a gentle person in these. You're warm, you're welcoming, and even a violent motion, explosive movement, you made look gentle. We're gonna get you angry. We're gonna get you fired up.
All right. I can do it.
I'm gonna see angry Elise, what lifting angry looks like.
Okay.
Just kidding, don't do that. I want you to
No,
really-
I know. I have so much fear because of injury that it's, everything I do, I just want to get it right before I add weight so I don't.
Well, here's the fun fact. Keeping that bar close reduces torsion in the
Yeah,
torso.
it makes complete sense. Yeah. Okay, I'll do it next time. It'll be better.
You got forward.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anytime. So we're getting a little bit forward. So your hips are here. We need your hips here. So we got to get you sitting a little bit more, John.
What about my head position? I've never looked at my squats before, and I feel like that kid dancing in the Charlie Brown video.
I can't see. There's plates in the way.
When I get to the top, it's just really far forward.
Yeah, that's normal. You got to make room for the bar. If you
Okay.
bring it back, you're gonna feel the bar fly off your back. This is good. You've got pretty much. You're not looking up. You're not looking down. You're straight ahead. This is fine. That is non-issue. We just need to get you sitting lower.
Okay.
Stay to that midfoot and heel. Grab the floor with your toes to keep that pressure in the midfoot so you don't, because that first rep, here's the only thing that really kind of kicked you off to a funky start, if you will. Watch what happens on this first rep. We immediately look at that. We come forward. You fought it, but it was your shallowest rep because of it. So we need to keep you in that midfoot so you can sit to your heels. Otherwise, not bad. Your brace, everything, look at this. This is all rigid. This is all intact. This is great. From the hips up, it's fantastic. We just need to get you deeper.
Okay.
There's two of these. I have a side view as well.
Wedgies happen, man.
I know. By calling it out, everyone's going to pay attention to it now.
Okay, so this is good. Your range of motion is good. But in the bottom, see how the last inch your knees have to kick out? What that's doing is it's forcing your hips open because it's peeling your heels up. So if we take your feet and move them out, I don't know, to like here, you will probably have no restriction at that depth.
What was going on here? When I get my feet a little slightly more than shoulder width, I get some pull in my outer hip, more on the right, but I feel like I don't get as much depth because of it. I took this cue where I'm pushing my knees out from who's the Australian guy that's all over social media with powerlifting? That guy. Where I think I heard him say to like push your knees out and keep them out so you can give your hips room to come down. That all right? So tell me again what your suggestion was, and maybe I can find the middle ground between what I'm thinking and what you're saying.
Your heels are peeling up. Your heels, you're peeling up at your heels. So the weight's not staying midfoot and back. See, look at that.
Yeah, there's a little space there. I see it.
You look at that, no gap. And then as you're getting down there, when those knees push out to make room, something has to give because you've hit end of range of motion for your hips. So now your heels start to peel up. So if we take it, and I'm not even talking like an inch. I'm talking from here to here.
Okay.
That's still in line with shoulder. You're almost inside your shoulder width here. But the main thing is you're inside your hip width. If we get that foot over that hip line, that's why I said we're literally going from here to here. We're not necessarily outside of our hips, but we're in line with our femur.
Okay. I have pretty wide hips, so maybe I'm underestimating how wide they actually are. Did I say that? Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Put you in line. So this doesn't peel your heels up and it makes it easier. It should. It's literally like if your foot's here, we're going, that's it. It's a very fine adjustment.
Yeah.
I don't want you
I've been at this for a couple of decades, so I'm looking for tweaks here, but I've had to adjust due to knee injury and the aforementioned hip tightness. So
yeah, so it shows because otherwise your technique is very sound.
there's a side view as well. Oh, wait, we're going to RDAs. Never mind.
Beautiful.
I couldn't tell if I'm rounding my back or not. And then I can almost touch the bar to the ground. I can, but I feel like I compromise by bending.
Yeah, I don't
and
care
the lumbar a little bit.
Your range of motion is as deep as your form can stay intact in the hinge. So this is good. And you've got great mobility on the other side of it. There's nothing wrong with these.
This is front squat side view. You can just-
Yeah, this looks good. Watch right here. See that heel lifting?
Yeah, I see it. I don't feel it when it's happening, but I see it now. And it's like I didn't even when I look back at it, I didn't even notice it.
And the deeper you get into your set, the more it exaggerates. So nothing catastrophic. Holistically, you squat great. I just want to do that super subtle movement to see if that will alleviate the thing that's going on. Because if those heels peel under a heavy front squat, everything above the heel is going to follow suit.
Yeah. And this is relatively light for me at the moment. I'm trying to progress up as I get more comfortable back with doing this stuff. But yeah, I'll send you another one next time I do these. And maybe if that looks good, I'll send you a back squat later.
Great work, man.
Thanks.
So you set up well, Harry. But you see how your hips are virtually higher than your shoulders? We want to get more legs. So you do good and then you pull your back out of tension. So and then it all rounds. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your hips and drop them down to somewhere around in here. So butt's going to come down, knees will slightly push forward, but it should allow you to bring those shoulders back slightly. I want you to focus on keeping this intact. Belly button to the floor, tailbone to the sky.
So that's 185. I just want you to tell me, well, how much, what's like my ceiling, I guess. So I did 4 reps here.
Press more towards your face.
Okay.
There we go. 185 for 4. I'd say you're probably somewhere between 210, 225.
Okay.
For give or take. I mean, I can do the math here, what your ballpark should be, and double check myself. Yeah, the math says approximately 200 to 210.
Okay, yeah, I figure I kind of feel like that. Yeah.
So if that was moving faster, probably and that could be just the day. That could mean exceeding. So that's why I gave such a big margin.
Yeah. Yeah, those are like from my like after the workup. So yeah, a little bit high for that.
But otherwise look good. Just keep pressing towards your face.
Okay, cool. And let's see this.
These are good. You're staying upright. I take about, I don't know, 3 inches forward, if that.
Okay.
And you see how it kind of pushes you back because you're trying to get into a position where you can descend. So if you take that 3-4 inch step forward, you should feel it pushing you back anymore.
Yeah, and I think I need to work more on my left side because I started to wobble a lot.
Yeah. Non-dominant side tends to be a little bit more unsteady.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Kelly, these are pretty good. Keep that as much as possible. Upper body a little bit more vertical. But your depth is fine. Range of motion, how you're sitting to your heels is good. I want to see you fold a little bit less. That's really the only thing. Keep that upper back together. Fold less. More sit, less hinge. Boom. That little bit of heel elevation did the trick. Yeah, Laura, keep chugging. You're getting a little bit shallow as you descend, but you're still right there at depth. But I like the position with the heel elevation that is opened up for you to keep that from the hips up where it needs to be. You nailed it this week. Well done. Fuck yeah, Jimmy. Some good heavy RDLs. Keeping that midsection together. Range of motion's good. Jimmy, you nailed these, my dude. You're cooking along now, man. Beautiful. Sitting to his heels, rack positions on point. That upper body is rigid as can be. Depth is awesome. Jimmy, you animal. You're moving so incredibly well. Even better than last week. Good job, Jeanette. Try and get a little bit more upright with the upper body. Stand tall in that squat. Keep those shoulders high, keep that chest high. Try and stay as vertical as possible for as long as possible down into that chair. But we're making progress. I'm going for broke. I'm gonna do all 82. You guys can stick around or not, but I'm getting them done. Everything is good. But that jerking on the bar is shooting yourself in the foot because you're pulling in tension and then you're pulling the bar is your body's not receiving it at the same time you're inputting the power. So I've said this before, you see some high level lifters, like really strong deadlifters, they do a subtle little jerk, but their backs are so overdeveloped and so strong and have had so many years, they get away with it. But that doesn't make it optimal. That jerking there, you set. Look at this. Look at this setup. Like neutral back, everything, and then you pull it out by jerking on the bar. Get tight, pull in tension, and push the ground away. Be patient off the floor, then accelerate. Jerking off the bar, the heavier you get, the worse it's going to amplify your position. You do so much right in the setup, and the jerk just kind of rips it apart. Everything else is sound. We just get you stop jerking, your deadlift's going to be beautiful. John, well done. Your first rep is actually the best. I like your hip position better at the start there versus now as you come down with it, you hinge less and squat more. I want those hips slightly higher because it's putting you behind the bar. So this first rep, that was on the money. Boom. Look at that. Yes, sir. Hips were a little low, Giannis. So we kicked up, pitch forward. Boom. See how it rolls forward and then you kind of two-piece it? So we need to start with a slightly higher hip position and really focus on bracing, pushing that belly button to the floor and squeezing really, really hard. But overall, man, it's not bad. It's just that your initial pull, that start position is what we need to kind of hone in on. But that's good. I like that this is surfacing on your heavier pulls because it gives me a little more information on what we need to focus. So boom, hips are going to come up here, probably to somewhere in this range. Because it rolls you forward so much. It puts your shoulders way past the bar. And now the bar is behind us. Then watch what the bar does. See, now you've got a two-piece hit. So you're out of position at the top, which that in turn will make your lockout harder on the heavier pull. Daisy's back. Yes, nailing these. So she's got some stuff going on with joints, back, stuff like that we were actually working. She's basically an adaptive athlete. And we're rebuilding her body weight squat from the top down. So seeing her move with this range of motion is really exciting. Fantastic. That means she's been working. Giannis, these look good. Butt kicks up slightly, but that's actually your squat position. You're a little too deep. You're trying to be a little bit too vertical, too low. And all it's doing is your body putting you into your actual squat position little subtle kick up. But that's the better position for you in that range of motion. So try and replicate that. Watch your own video over and over again. Be conscious of it. See if you can feel it happen. And then try and correct. So slowly put in power and then hit. Because when you put in power, the tension will draw you in a position. It should. If it doesn't, we'll keep working on it. Great.
And he makes it look so easy.
He does. He does. I want to see him drive those knees out really hard on the way down and on the way up. It's the only thing. Otherwise, Justin, your squat looks awesome. Ah, a little calf raise setup here. For those of you that don't have the equipment, here you go. Do you just figured out a way to put a load directly over his legs and get some calf raises using a 2x4? Getting it done. I love this. Ideally, we'd like something maybe an inch higher so you can get a little bit more of the stretch. But in a pinch, this is what you got. This is perfect.
You saying he needs a 3x4?
He might. 4x4, 3x4, who knows? Or two 2x4s. That's how you got.
4x4 fence post.
Nana, these are really good starting position. The only thing, you've got a strong pull, your positioning's great, overall technique is great. You're doing what's called ramping a little bit, which in strongman is fine. But powerlifting or conventional strict standard, what that means is as you crest your knee, you see how you sit back and now your knees are at an angle and you're no longer pulling straight up, you're kind of pulling slightly back. That's called a ramp or a hitch. And this is a very, very subtle version of it. I don't think most people would catch this outside of like coaches and powerlifters, versus aggressively accelerating your hips to the bar. It's so subtle. So what I want you to think about when you pull as you crest the knees, I want you to think about get my hips to the bar, squeeze my butt, and keep standing up straight. Otherwise, your pull looks fucking awesome.
So you mean I should start moving with the hips
Yeah, so
a little?
what is happening is you're cresting the knee and you're sitting back, so you're working it up the angle of your legs, which is fine and it's okay. But for actually to be not considered ramping, it needs, see how my hips advance to the bar versus
Yes.
I pulled up my thigh. So it'd be boom versus rise. And it doesn't mean you've got to change anything per se, technique wise. The only other thing is instead of sitting back, you're just going to keep pushing the floor away and squeezing your butt.
Okay.
That's it. In strongman, this is fine. You're allowed to do this all day long. Man, I itch the shit out of my deadlifts when I start getting tired because I can. I'm not a perfectionist there, but when it comes to fundamental deadlifting, learn the it's not that I don't think you can, it's I just don't think you knew any, you know what I mean?
No, yes, yeah, you are right.
So plus it will create, if you have to hitch a rep in a set, convention, like pulling it flat out, will make a hitch stronger anyway. A hitch is something I look at as a tool. I whip it out when I need it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
Well done.
Thank you. The second one is from another angle. I think it can be skipped.
Well, let's take a look at it. See here.
It's a little more weight, but yeah.
Yep, same thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm consistent.
That's
Even
not a
if I-
bad thing. I mean, this is all good. The issue is, and it's not your fault, is I'd like to have you driving more towards your face, but the rack's in the way.
Yes, yes. I keep hitting them if I drive more to my face, and I can also cannot go to the floor because then my legs are not there.
Okay. I mean, you're kind of screwed unless this bench can go lower right here.
Yes.
Unless that can go lower.
No. Well, it can, but I tried some positions, but this one is the best, although it is not good.
You're working with what you got. That's okay.
Yeah. Yes. True.
I mean, you knew right away, so it's not like you're kind of like shit. Well, this is what I got.
Right.
All good.
Okay.
I'm not gonna beat you over something you can't control.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Good. Thanks, Nick.
Yes, sir. And Leah, we doing some eccentrics?
Yes.
Good. Make them longer.
Well, that's as slow as I've gotten so far.
You can get slower, I promise.
The next day I tried and I about fell off the bar. See, they get faster like as I go.
Yeah. The first one, let's see. It's about a 4-second eccentric, give or take.
Okay.
I want you to shoot for, even if you gotta like set like your phone up or a timer or something, shit, then you can't record. You can record a set, and then after that set, you can set your phone up and record a timer.
Mhm.
I do this sometimes, like, because I'll have my coach likes to feed me ridiculous eccentrics. Like, I've had 15-second eccentrics on the pull up before with like
Jesus.
weight. And I can't keep track of that in my head. So I do it right in front of the timer, set up my phone.
I
So
have another timer that I could actually just like tape to the wall right ahead of me that I could see.
There you go.
I have one for my son. That's how we like break our activities up. Like, okay, you have this much time on this thing. And so I'll steal his timer.
I want you to strive for 5 seconds.
Okay.
And on the actual up, on the first couple, for as long as you can manage it, I don't want you stepping off the bench. I want you kind of kicking yourself up off the floor with your feet.
Okay, I'll try. I will try.
The only way to get better at these is to make these harder.
I'm good at that. I like to make things harder.
There we go.
So. Okay.
Have you played with slightly wider?
Yes, I have. This was my second set. I was definitely tired here.
Because your back's straight. You're your fold at the bottom. Yeah, there we go. There's a grind.
Yes, it was. Well, I'm over 100. Let me see. This is 105 pounds, I think.
You're fighting for your life, and your kid over there is just like, la la.
Oh yeah, he's just like eating breakfast and encouraging me. He's like, "Go, mommy, you got this. You could do hard things."
You're over here like,
This is very normal for him,
oh,
which
don't
I
die,
love.
don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. And he's like, man, this breakfast is delicious.
And if you notice, like I don't have collars on, so I can dump it if I have to, because I don't have like spotter arms or anything yet. And so he knows he is not to move from that chair because plates could start flying.
I know he's got to be going to school and like flex on the other kids. Like my mommy is just, our living room's a gym. My mom's stronger than yours.
He's gonna be. I really hope that he like gets into it with me, and I hope.
You're like, listen, bitch. I didn't even had a gym when I was, like I was listening.
He does banded weight exercises right now. He's loving
Hell
the
yeah.
resistance bands. He loves it.
So these are overall pretty good.
It was a fight session for sure, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't deteriorating too much.
No, I'm not worried about the grind. That's not even where I'm going with this.
Okay.
It's good effort, and even then, like you didn't really break down. I'd be curious to see what like a slightly wider stance with more toe point out looks like for you.
Okay.
I think that will put our hips in a better position to kind of maintain that depth.
Okay.
And it's
All right,
subtle.
I'll
Really
keep
just-
that in mind. Okay, I'll keep that in mind next time. And now the next one is my first barbell deadlifts. They're stiff-legged. I haven't figured out how to make like the words come up, like to say like what this
That
is
was a
of.
real deadlift off the floor.
Well, that's how I start. Yeah, these are meant to be stiff-legged.
And they are. These are fine. These are perfect.
Really? Okay. I wasn't sure. You can probably see. I feel like I feel a little unsure. I think this was 100 pounds. I did like some workup sets to get to like what I thought I could do, like for the rep
What
range.
were you squatting?
Just now,
Yeah.
105, I think.
So remember when you were like you were like, I don't know about barbell stuff. And I was like, listen, I guarantee you, like within a couple weeks of you with a barbell, you're squatting over 100 pounds. You're like, I don't know. And how many times have you squatted on a barbell?
It's just been a few weeks now, probably like a month, maybe. Yeah. It just seems so fantastical because when I started this app, mind you, the most weights that I had 3 kettlebells that added up to 30 pounds. And like, that's what I was using for anything like, deadlifts, squats, whatever. So it is happening fast, I think.
All that. This is my case in point. Why time under tension and effort is king. She's been squatting for like 2 weeks and she's already squatting well over 100 pounds on a bar and she was making it work with 30-pound dumbbells. She got stronger using the same weight by making the same weight harder with time under tension.
Yeah, it does. And that and a suspension trainer was another thing which like requires you to like to use all your stabilizing muscles. Like I think that built me like a really good core, which was helpful also.
I mean, you're doing everything correctly. Your movement patterns well. You're new to the barbell and we're already pretty much fine-tuning things. So there's no real overhauls needed. Something will come up, maybe, probably. I don't know. But
I'm sure I'll get into something.
You're moving very, very well, especially early on.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. So this is assisted pull-ups. This is what I was talking about, where you put the bands on the rack, and then they give you some help out of the hole. And the higher you put the bands up on the rack, the more stretch, the more help you get. The lower you put the bands, the more strain, and so on. Yeah. These are good. Pain right shoulder. Be this guy. See, this is where it's hard to coach remote because I can't like take you through an assessment and I have questions. Are you in here, Ellis? Fuck. Okay. Where's the pain? How bad's the pain? Does it hurt on any other movements? These are all questions I have. I can't diagnose. And if I can't diagnose, I would go see a sports PT or something of the sort to run you through an assessment because I can't get hands on you. Your pull-ups didn't look bad. There's nothing that was jumping out to me there.
Hey, Nick.
Oh, you're here.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Joe just gave me the phone.
Where's the pain? Does it hurt on anything else? How bad is it?
Mate, it was better today. I put a thicker band on to support myself so I could kind of work better on technique. But it's really when I hang, it just hurts. It almost feels like it catches at the back of the shoulder.
So you don't get it on the actual pull or the eccentric?
No, it's just at the very base of the movement. It's usually, it feels like I have to kind of wriggle my shoulder around to move past the pain.
So if you were to grab onto something like, I don't know, fuck. Okay, we're gonna go over here. If you were to grab onto something and pull into it like this,
yeah.
So you feel the stretch from tricep in your shoulder all the way down your into your hip, would that hurt?
Yeah. I'll have a look. No.
Okay, so if we were to external rotate.
Yeah, I do get pain with external rotation at the end. End of movement.
At the end of the range of motion, are you breaking past your ear?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, so I'm going level with my head. I'm probably going about 10 degrees.
Okay, so that'll
my
lie.
head.
So when you're hanging in a pull up, this is starting. This is why I like to get hands on people, because when you're hanging in a pull up, look where your shoulders are. You're here, right? Which is the same position that external rotation puts you in.
Okay.
Your arms are just straight. So you could have some sort of pinch, some sort of strain, something in the back there of that joint or back of the labrum. That is,
okay.
You're getting correlation and pain in some sort of external rotation with your scapula and your shoulder joint. So
I see.
For now, we want to work on that mobility. We can do some things like you can take a light band, put it on a rack in front of you, and squeeze like super light, and like 10 reps, bang, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, bang. And then the same thing, anchor it below you and come up with it. Just
okay.
The other thing is if you lay on your back with a foam roller under your like thoracic, and then you put a barbell with like bumper plates, it can be 10s, it doesn't matter. And then you put that wide and try and drive your hips to the floor. And what it'll do is it'll open up that chest. I
see.
There's no pain.
Okay.
So yes, we could be getting pain. We don't have imagery, so I don't know what it is. But I know from experience for me, I've had pinching surface here and it was my chest. So we kind of want to open some things up in that realm. And the other is that stretch I just had you do, where you step back into it and we kind of open it. And before you do pull-ups, you can take a band and put it around your fists and open it up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, mate. So it's external rotation. Can you see me?
Yep.
So external rotation with the band, and then I kind of pull up like this with the band.
It's still an external rotation. It's just a different angle.
Just a different angle. Yep. And then we'll do the before I do the pull-ups with the band? What am I doing? Sorry, Nick, the one you said before I do the
So
pull-ups
I want
with
you
the
to
band?
do. I want you to do that stretch where I had you hold
Oh,
on,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then from there, I want you to put a foam roller under like your mid upper back. Try and drive your
Okay.
floor with a barbell over your head, and
Okay.
as you're driving down, you should feel it all open up into the chest and stretch. It's gonna be hard, but I don't.
Okay, mate.
You know the difference between like a stretch that hurts, but it's a good hurt versus
Yeah.
ow fuck pain.
Yeah.
We don't want the oh shit pain. We want the oh yeah, that's a hard stretch. That
Okay, mate.
good. And then you work them in progressively, and you'll feel it kind of go more from the chest down into the shoulders, down into your lats as you feel it.
I see. Okay, mate.
But slowly, gingerly, like 10-second holds.
Okay.
And then you go into that opening with the band around the fists, or
Okay.
like wrists. You can even do it that, and then ease into the pull up and see how that feels.
Okay, mate. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Keep me
Nick.
posted. Always.
Take care, buddy. Will do. See you, mate.
See ya. Well, I just drew something on here and I don't even know how I did it. No idea how I did that. So it's just going to exist. These are good. Little soft on the lockout at the knees. That speed was fantastic. I'd like your hips slightly higher. Just a little bit. So literally from here to here. Because they're trying to curl and go forward. So if we get them a little bit higher, it'll get us out of that plane where they're trying to go forward, which under heavier weight is likely to happen, or they're going to kick up anyway. But overall, Mark, great pulls, good velocity. Oh, it went away. Maybe that wasn't on me.
It wasn't. I'm guilty. I'm sorry.
Oh, you.
Oh, it's accidental. I didn't know.
Other people can do it. Crazy.
Yeah, sorry.
April's got software she's connected to your desktop.
God
Mark,
forbid.
these are solid. I really like how you're squatting. I don't want to really feed much more Q-wise, but I do want to see what happens when you get heavy. This is speed work. Bit. I'm going to see you fight for your life for a little bit. See what comes to the surface. Well done. That didn't sound good. That was definitely Bruno. Hold on. He recently figured out how to get in the trash can. I'll be right back. Hey.
Hey, April, he's trying to get his numbers down and finish these videos. Here's your chance to pump in like 10 or 12 more.
Well, what is weird for me is I don't know if you guys have this or not, but at the bottom, like if I tap on my phone, I've got a Pump Club's screen edit icon. Do you guys have that?
Come here, both of you. That was definitely the trash can. Come here.
I don't see that on mine, April.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
that-
I don't know why.
I do have that, April, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys,
I have it. Yeah.
Come here, Hanky.
you have it?
Do y'all
I
OG
do. Yeah.
people
That's
have it?
interesting.
Okay.
See
Oh my
if I
God,
get my
Nick, is
pen?
that
See, I
your
can put a little
boxer
heart
mix?
there.
Whoops. Yep. See, you can see I'm like doing something. Whoops.
See, like the little heart, but I can erase it.
Nick, is that the boxer mix?
Yeah, that was Bruno. That's
Oh,
our
well, let me show you.
Bruno.
that's our pretty little idiot.
Trooper, come here. Here's They
He's
could be
got
brothers.
wide-eyed look. Adorable.
He's my butt.
Is he an asshole? Mine's an asshole.
He's a smarty pants that takes advantage.
Yep.
He's probably one of the smarter dogs I've had, but I haven't trained as much. Because he was really my son's dog, and so I'm just kind of taking over. And so he's learned how to do things and get away with things.
Oh, but Hank's the one that tries to get away with it. Bruno is the one that goes, yeah, well, I'd do it again. Barney, these are really good. I don't like the rack position. Fingers under, high elbows, obviously my go-to. Or the straps versus the crisscross. Reason being is look at the deviation when you come up out of the hole, that tilt, because you're having to fight for that bar control versus having constant dictation and being able to drive back into the bar. So when you get heavier, that amplifies. Otherwise, your actual squat pattern in and of itself, I love it. Jacqueline, great row pattern. The only thing is this hinge position is we are not supported. So I would like to go from that rounded lumbar to turning that tailbone to the sky and rowing with our back together. Your bar path is great. Where you're rowing to and how you're rowing is fine. I want you to push that belly button out to the floor and create a nice flat lumbar for me. So you do it much better here. You do it actually much better in the deadlift. And you don't have to go. I tell people with dumbbell deadlifts, you don't have to go as low because it's incredible. You can. It's functional. We pick stuff up from the floor all the time. It's totally okay. But keeping that brace sound, inhaling before you descend, holding the breath, squeezing in that abdomen, you keep a much better support in that lumbar on your deadlift than doing the row. If you do this on the rows, fine. But these are this is a good position. Look at this. You're mobile. You've got good range of motion. You're in good position. I'd be curious to see what you do on a barbell, if you can. Well done. I like it. These are great. These are more of a neutral grip. She's driving. She has a very natural bar path. She's driving back up towards her face. Well done. So I'd like to see you keep squeezing with that upper back versus pushing your shoulders out over your chest, keeping them contracted and pressing with a proud chest the whole time. That's the only real thing I see that we could work on here. Otherwise, you're doing great. That'll also create some of that stability where you kind of wiggle wobble a little bit. Rows are good. Big back squeeze. Initiating with the back two. Awesome. Nice straight curl, not a ton of elbow deviation. Just straightforward, just doing a very good job, good posture. Not wiggling around with the upper body. Everything's where it's supposed to be. Jacqueline, you move well. Brendan, fuck yeah. Great hinge pattern. Jacqueline, for example, this is what I was talking about, the position for like a row from the hips up here. That's generally where we want to be with the bent over row. Brendan, well done. Good acceleration too. Shoulder press. Press more over your head. Press towards the back of your head here. Looks like you're kind of out front. I want to see you press over your body. This time, rode that bar to his chest, drive back towards his eyes. Look at this arc, this subtle arch in his back. He's coiled up into his heels. He's got leg tension. Tomas, your bench looks gorgeous. I love this. I love everything about your bench press. Well fucking done. And he's mobile. Great range of motion on the SDLs. Really, really pushing those hips back. Dude, you move well. You move very well. I love it. A little too deep. See, when we get down into that flexion, we're burying it. We're past our range of motion where it's benefiting us. So your hips have to come kind of out of position to get that deep. So there, whoops, too far. That's at or below depth right there. Look how everything stays intact and in line. Rack position looks great. We might be able to get that a little bit higher on the shoulders, but otherwise elbow position, nice rigid midsection. We're going a little too deep and getting out of position. Your tension kind of dissipates that deep at that point. Yeah, see how when you hit that point too, you fold up here. So there, you're below depth. And you're completely intact. Bars over midfoot, we're right where we need to be. Nailed it.
I thought this was a little less deep than the previous one, but the setup was the same. The
It is,
bench,
but the position, your position's looking good. So I'm not really extra focused on the depth. I'm more focused on where your body is at the depth you're at. Because if we can replicate this and bring it lower each time, that's what we want. Honestly, I'd like to see you sit and reach out a little bit, just slightly further behind you with your butt, so you don't cheat forward and push yourself forward. That's really it.
like a deadlift, a little.
Not quite that far.
Okay, we'll try it next time. Sorry, couldn't edit it before.
So you jerked on the bar. That was really the main thing that stood out. Your setup and position was good. Your second pull was even better. So jerking on the bar pulls us out of our position.
It was heavy for me.
I also think you might be a little wide in your stance. I think if we bring you in a little bit closer, bring our arms right down our shins, we'll be able to drop our butt slightly, and get a little bit more leg drive. Everything after the first rep looked really good. If we can get you resetting on every rep and not jerking on the bar, even if it means dropping a little bit of weight, because it's going to be harder, because we don't have that residual tension from the descent. I think that'll set your setup better for much more consistency.
Okay, this was the first one with the weight plates under. I still don't have the regular height. So
Yeah,
they're a
overall
little-
it went well. It wasn't a bad. It just we needed to kind of get you stop jerking on the bar and drop your butt slightly so we get more out of your legs. But it's literally just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for TAR. But I have a question from something you said on the beginning, like our PRs, our one PR max aren't really getting us stronger. So if I'm getting a little much weight every workout, even on the dumbbells, does it correlate to like a dumbbell deadlift? Will it correlate to one PR max, or because it's different?
Dumbbell deadlifts? Is
Yes,
that what you're
on the regular barbell deadlift. The catch is animal on a trap bar, but it's not the same on the straight bar.
So, like, if you're okay, so I don't know if I understand your question. Are you asking if a straight bar will translate to a trap bar?
No. I'm asking about PR because I probably will try if I go to Cal. I will try to do a PR on a straight bar because I love it.
Yes.
But then I'm not on maximize your strength program, so I usually have 8, 10, 6 reps. And you said at the beginning that one PR max or 2 or 3 reps aren't getting us stronger. But I couldn't, for me at least, it's not like if I like your calculator, I did 4 sets or 8 sets of that weight, so I should PR max. It doesn't correlate to me because I never tried that much weight.
No, what I was saying is like testing a 1 rep max isn't where you get stronger.
Okay,
That's
like a test. Okay.
Yeah,
I admit it.
that's exactly what it is. It's not making you stronger. Where you're getting stronger is the undulation of the reps of the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. Like that, the volume at varying rep ranges is what makes you stronger. The heavy volume at the lower reps, the lighter volume at the higher reps, the moderate volume at the mid-range reps. That's where we get stronger, is because it's time under tension. The 1 rep max is a test and stop. That's all it is. It doesn't make us stronger. It shows us the progress and the potential. It doesn't build a bigger pool per se. The volume does. So like that's why I was saying like now I get stoked when I hit like a rep range at a weight I haven't hit before because I'm seeing the correlation. I know that if I wanted to test, I'm going to have something bigger in the tank than I've ever had. So that's where people get like can get really fixated on that 1 rep max, and like that's not where you're making your money. It's like the reward, if you will.
It's not the goal, it's the journey.
Exactly.
Or the people you meet on this journey.
I like being down in the trenches until I'm standing on podium. Everything in between is noise. Because that's where, at least for me and how we train, we make training harder objectively in contest. We'll take an event, we'll run an event, we'll make it harder in training, i.e. at a further distance or whatever. So when it comes time to compete, it's harder. That's what training is. It's harder than testing. Yeah, it might be that 1 rep max is going to be hard, long pull. It's going to cost a lot, but the accumulative difficulty of training all the time under tension is what prepares you and builds that for that 1 rep max, that test, that powerlifting meet, whatever. That's where the money's made. And it's unavoidable for every one of us. There's no Catch is learning that the hard way right now. Just because he's Catch.
I think that's kind of important for everybody. Like, or it definitely is for me, that like 1 rep max, or like that can almost be a distraction. That like you get a little lost there because you're like chasing these numbers, or, you know, I want to be able to do this for this. And like, I know for me, like there was a bit in phase 2 where I lost my way a little bit because like I would get so mad when I had to take weights off to hit higher rep ranges. Like I would like resent it. I was like, oh, this is bullshit. You know, but
the
like
number is just, once you realize the number is just a way to track, it becomes a more palatable thing to do when we have to drop weight, because when you know the money's being made on the effort scale and the time under tension, you know, like you're doing the right thing by dropping the weight to continue on with the rep scheme and the effort, versus failing 3 reps shy or doing, you know, too much. It's not the end of the world. It's like the amount of top sets when it comes to volume. For example, I don't always land on my target on that top set. I will typically, I'm a habitual undershooter by a rep, at least, or 2. I typically don't, because I've been doing it a while. I have the experience. I know what things are supposed to feel like. I typically don't fail a set by more than 2 if I fail it, but it's rare that I ever overshoot it. I've hit the money on the dot more times than I've overshot because I always get ambitious. But it doesn't matter because I was close to my effort target. I wasn't under it. I'd rather be over effort than under effort for me personally, but I'm saying that as someone who knows how to manage their effort accordingly. It takes time to learn that. So,
well, it makes me feel better the way you just framed that, like just clicked in my brain. Like it just gave a lot more value to those times that I was initially getting annoyed about. You know, so thank you.
Yeah. It's an annoying process. Like you walk in and any given day weight feels like a death sentence. And those days, I always tell people, be mentally prepared to have 60% of your days feel like shit in the gym or the weight. Have 20% or 25% be okay, decent, and have the last little percentage left. That's what's going to be great. And just because of how fatigue accumulates and builds and things get worse, sometimes the deeper you get in the program, and then all of a sudden you have this deload and you're like, you step on the gas pedal and you're like, where the fuck did this come from? Recover.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more of an up and down journey than I expected. But
it is. How you trend is by doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might have moments where
it's
like,
not linear.
but it's literally this.
Yep.
The whole time.
But I'm learning to appreciate it though. Like this, I'm getting there.
That's all it takes. It's just go into it and know that you'll get there. Nita, do you have a question?
I do. Shoes. I know that you had suggested that I, not wear shoes. I tried that and my stupid foot decided to become very, very pissed off.
Okay.
So I had to go back to shoes. I have wide feet and it doesn't look like any of the Noble lifting shoes come in wides. I haven't found any that come in wide and I need wide. And I'm wondering maybe a men's shoe, but I don't know. So I wondered if anybody had any insight.
My most comfy shoes that I own are a $40 brand off of Amazon. They're called Witten, Whitin, and they're a barefoot shoe. Literally 40 to 50 bucks. I love them. They're my shit kickers. I wear them all the time where I'm wearing flip-flops. I wear them to train on certain things. When it comes to other training footwear, and the Nanos have changed. They're kind of going back to how they used to fit. They're widening them again. But the Nano X's and stuff like that, those were really good and also affordable. Vivo Barefoot is more the expensive end. You're gonna pay 150 plus for Vivos. Vivo has a site called Revivo, and it's like refurbished shoes, and they give you categories like new, great, good. I bought a pair off of those that was like new, and they were running a sale on top of it. But there's the Wittens I've had for 2 years now, and for a $40 pair of shoe, they've lasted longer than more of my expensive ones. New Balance, I don't know if they still make them, but they were called Minimuses. New Balance Minimus, and that was like a flat, hard soled kind of barefoot style trainer. I've done
Whatever I get, I'm probably gonna have to put an arch support in. That's real fun,
yeah.
but it's just a fact of life at this point.
It takes some experimenting because I'm on the higher end of a double E. My foot spread is a 5.5-inch splay. My foot when it splays is almost half of a foot wide. My feet are that.
Yeah.
When I was ironworking and I was walking on top steel, footwear is important. I was wearing custom Red Wings that cost me $360 because I had to get custom soles made to the width of my foot. But it was important because I'm standing on a steel beam 300 foot in the air, this wide,
Right.
all day long. So it's important. And when in doubt, if barefoot doesn't work for you, there's other options. I mean, if your shoes you're wearing work now, let them rock. It's not the end of the world, you know. I'm not expecting you to step on a powerlifting stage and absolutely send it. If they're working for what you're doing, your feet don't hurt. That's at the end of the day, that's important. So, but I've spent a lot of money experimenting and returning shoes or giving a pair that doesn't fit to a friend or stuff like that. And
Yeah, I've done that with hunting boots.
yeah, I don't want other people to go through that. So, those are
Right.
kind of ones I use, and yeah.
Because I've ended up with men's boots in order to get what I needed. And even then, they're not wide enough to put in 2 pairs of socks like I want. So,
Yeah. I have to wear thin socks because my foot's thick as shit too. So it's
yeah,
if a foot's
I hear you.
might be wide enough, but then it's too tight down on top of my foot.
Huh?
It's
Yep.
hard. I was fortunate, and when Miles and we were testers for Nike, I have 3 pair of Nike shoes, and they were all made for my foot there at Nike. But I don't buy Nike shoes otherwise, because they're notoriously narrow. Adidas is pretty narrow. Reebok is one of the wider ones with their training shoes. New
I
Balance,
usually buy New Balance because they tend to fit if I buy the wide width. And they're one of the ones that actually make a wide width for women.
Yeah, New Balance has kind of always been a go-to for wide feet, in my opinion.
Alrighty. Well, I will take a look at some of these and see what I can find. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions before we close out? This was a long one. This was a lot of form checks, but we got them done.
Are you going for the Unabomber look?
Am I going for the Unabomber? I typically lean towards more Al Qaeda with the beard, but I'm adaptable. My last driver's license, I looked like Al Qaeda because I got the picture taken in the summer, so I was on the darker side being Greek, and I was flirting with felon in that picture.
Jeez.
So what's up with Catch? He seemed not real happy about people sending him sympathy for his back issues.
Oh, well, some people took it the wrong way in the sense that like people were reaching out like, "Oh, well, you found your limit," and frankly,
Not even close.
no, he found his limit that day.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just because that's what you pulled that, and you're 42. That's not your. I mean, male strength doesn't even peak until late 30s, early 40s. It's people. He didn't want sympathy. He was like, "Oh, sorry, blah blah blah." Like we. I understand why he felt the way he did about it. He's like, my deadlift doesn't deserve sympathy, and I also haven't found my limit. So let me clarify.
Yeah.
So it's not he didn't want it to come across as like a woe is me, and he felt that it got interpreted that way or that he had failed when he didn't fail. The reality is he wasn't supposed to test that day. He was supposed to work up to progressive singles in the conjugate, and he kind of got to the point. He's like he pulled a heavy, like a 440 or something. It moved well, and then I saw the twinkle in his eye, and he's like, "I want to go 470." I was like, "It might be there, but it's going to be an ugly fucking pull." And he's like, "I'm going for it." I was like, "Okay," and he went for it, and it went well. Now his back's cooked. And he's in for a 10-week road of rebuild and bulletproofing, as we like to call it. So
I think it's great that you guys are going to share that program. That's amazing. That's going to help many people, I think.
Yeah.
Who might have issues later.
And with back injuries, my coach Tom, it's why I'm with him. So my previous coach Max. So if anyone saw my World's Strongest Man post on my Instagram, the first slide on the right of me was Max. He's the coach that turned me into a world champion. He coached me in 2020 when I was rehabbing my back again. Didn't even hurt it in the gym. I've got systemic and permanent issues from the military that I was told I should. I'm 100% disabled per the VA. And I just hate hearing no when it comes to being told I can't do something. So I said, fuck you, hold my beer. I've been an athlete my whole life, and I just refuse to stop moving. And I got with Max in 2020. He rebuilt my back then, won the world title in 2021, podiumed, placed second in 2022, all under Max. 2023, my back had a moment where it got even worse. And it was like 3 days a week. I was virtually needing assistance going upstairs and things like that. And Max is like, I'm at my depth with how to improve this. I'm going to hand you to Tom, who was basically his mentor. And he really is really good with back rehab and rehab in general, not just because of his knowledge, but he's much more patient. And it's rare in this sport where a coach will willingly hand off a world champion and a potential repeat world champion athlete to another coach.
Yeah.
And so that's why and Max now, he kind of oversees my nutrition with Mike. He's who put me with Mike because I'm a little needy with the AFib side of things. Like there's certain things that can increase arrhythmias and decrease arrhythmias. So he's kind of overseen Mike now. Mike and I get on seamlessly. And but with Tom, that picture, that was my past and present coach, and they all communicate. Max does nutrition for some of Tom's coaching clients, and so forth. So you have the three, and the second picture was MST Shane Reese, who's another top coach. He coaches a lot of the top names you see in strongman. He was coaching Matt Ragg, both the Stoltmans, Pablo Cordiaca, Tom had Andrew Flynn, Max does nutrition for Ragg, Flynn, and another guy, I think. So what I'm trying to say is that he specializes and does very well, both with his patience and his ability to program. I hate programming. I fucking hate it. Yes, I'm good at it, but I got good at it out of necessity. But I hate it. Tom loves it. So him coming in, and I had this idea, like, this is a really good opportunity for Catch wants athlete results, but he doesn't like the path that we have to take. So he's getting a crash course in training like an athlete, rehabbing like an athlete, in the sense of this is how an athlete did it. Because this is how I did it with Tom, coming off of Max, where I had a year apart, really, really bad back times, periods, where I was questioning not doing strongman and having to potentially drop out of worlds that time. And I walked into, the heaviest deadlift I've ever had for reps on an axle. So you guys are going to have access to something that is very, if there's ever been a moment where, like, we can say this app undercharges and over delivers, the brains that you get access to, where we did content with my nutrition coach around Santa Monica and eating and stuff like that. And now we're going to have Tom, who's another world-class coach and a front runner in strongman in general, powerlifting coach Ben Donan. He's got a couple world champions under his belt. So does Max. Like 40 some world records at this point. I've got 2 with Max. I've got 2 with Tom. You're getting incredibly high caliber humans in the realm of coaching. And he's someone, when I have a coach, I give him the wheel, and Catch is now being kind of forced to do that. Like, hey, yeah, we know you have your goals, but like, your goals can't set me up for failure. This won't work. So that's where that kind of came from, is that verbal beating I gave him yesterday, and that we kind of butted heads really hard because he wanted to do it. He had these timelines, he had these goals. And I was like, yeah, well, all those years of you sending it all the time are what put you in this position. This position is permanent, but it can get better. But this is not something that will go away. This is something that will come back periodically. And it might not even have anything to do with lifting. You might piss it off at the wrong angle, the right time. And most athletes have something that lingers, that's chronic. It's rare that we're at 100%. It's a fine line constantly. So he wants to deadlift like a strength athlete, and now he's learning how to train and rehab like one. And we want to offer that to you guys, because maybe not in the same context as that I would do it, because it doesn't correlate the same, but in a context with the same methodology that I have access to rehab a back, a back is a back. Like, the same strategies you guys will have access to. It'll just look slightly different, but it'll be the same skeleton. It'll be the same methodology, the same isometric work. Just the efforts, and you guys aren't going to be running 3 heavy days like I did in a world record prep. Like that crushed me. So it's just, there'll be some tweaks to make it applicable to the app in this ecosystem. But it will be, even if your back's not hurt, this program's useful. That's why we're doing it. It'll still provide strength to the lumbar, the posterior chain, creating stability and giving you tools to mitigate in other areas.
So are those coaches local?
Tom is in the UK. He's in Southampton. Mike is Northern UK. Max is Australia.
So no.
Yeah, no. All my coaches are remote. I'm the only one, I think, really in this state that is coaching at like a high level like that at the world stage. You'll see me, if any of you guys follow Martins Litzis, you'll see me on his he was one I was cornering for in the finals, calling his log jumps and openers and everything, and handling his mindset. There's some powerlifting coaches. We have some world class. We've got Philip Herndon out of Maryland, who's a 1,000-pound squatter. Walker Blazik, who's coming up in the 900-pound territory, chasing 1,000. Mike Jenkins, he died in 2013, won the Arnold, placed second at the Arnold Pro, and he was an up-and-comer, had a genetic heart condition, killed him in sleep. Big giant. Locally, off the top of my head, I don't know anyone locally that's coaching at that level.
I think it's cool that Kat shared that with us because, again, it goes right back to progress isn't linear. You know what I mean? Sometimes life happens and you get hit with a side quest that's going to derail, the trajectory you thought you were going on and what you wanted to go on. So I think it's cool that he shared that with us and that you guys are going to share, things to do about it so we can not let it dishearten us too much. It's just a side quest.
The beauty of it from my perspective is that keeps him leading by example for everyone.
Exactly.
If I could have probably approached it differently with him, and be like, look, man, X, Y, and Z, we can't do it this way because you're giving me an impossible task, and I don't like to fail, and I don't want to fail you. And that made him sit down and go, if I don't do this, then I'm not leading by example, kind of ordeal. And I'm not done yet. I know I can hit 500. My goal is 600 and 100%. I will be shocked if he doesn't pull. It was never in question 500. 500 this year for him is a realistic goal. That was never, it was just the other timelines he had prior to that and some things he wanted to accomplish. But that's catch. And part of that, a job as a coach, is learning how to handle, mitigate, and deal with someone psychologically. And sometimes giving him a beating works in his favor. Sometimes giving him a beating makes him fight me harder. And then it's like, you want to win or not, dickhead? That's kind of where I get to it. And then I lean on Adam. I'm like, how do I say this so Catch hears it? And then that Adam's like our dad, and we're like the two brothers.
Adam is everybody's dad.
I'm convinced that Adam hired me to be the worthy opponent that could take beatings from Catch, but also give it back to him as hard, if not harder. He literally, when Catch said, we need a compromise, Adam's response, and I shit you not, was the gif of someone eating popcorn, because he knew that was going to make me grab the baseball bat and start swinging. And that's exactly what happened. And I feel like Adam's just like, this is going to be entertaining. I'm going to enjoy the show. But he knew we would get to the resolution eventually. He just wanted a show before we got there, and he got one. But it's also our dynamic. Catch and I can berate each other, and neither of us take it personally. And odds are we're both on the other end laughing, and it's funny. So yeah, what he did was really really good, and some people need to hear it because like they think they hit a limit, and sometimes you're just being a pussy. Sometimes you got hurt. Sometimes you need to pivot. But knowing which one that is, that's how we help you. And we don't expect you to have the answer. We just want you to work hard and show up. That's it. We want to help you do what you accomplish. And sometimes I give people the decision. You have this as a goal. This is what it requires. Are you going to step up or not? Because I can't make you step up. If not, I wish you the best. Whereas Adam and Catch are much more better at they're much better at kind of using that person's mentality in a different way to get them to step up. Whereas I'm like, I'm here to run with you and I'll drag you occasionally if you need it. But like, I can't make you start running. So that's why I say if you show up, I will.
I think that works for some people though. Like for me, you work for me. Like I'm not saying like not you are employed by me. I'm just saying your style, like no, that's not what I meant. Your style works for me personally. Cause like you tell me like you're stronger than this, you can do more. And like I start believing it. I'm like, well, he's a professional and he said he thought I could do more. He must be right. So like because I doubt myself. So you're like, you can do this. Do it. And I'm like, oh, now I have to do it.
and I know not everyone's taste. And that's okay. That's why we have 4 different people on this
Yeah,
team.
yeah. Everybody works different for different people.
Problems. And like why Jen and I do really well, and how she put it this week in LA is she was like, I'm really good at A to B. You're really good at B to Z. So like that's where we work synergistically is I stay out of the A to B and let her do her thing. Like she's really good at getting people in the door, getting them to try it, very warm, very welcoming, can make someone feel like, oh, it doesn't have to be this, where is once they get a taste like, oh, I want to see what else to explore. That's when I step in and go, I'm going to show you a whole new world. And I learned the people from them and they learn the performance and strength. And then Adam can take me going, you have to do X, Y, and Z to get this. And Adam then goes, this is why it makes sense scientifically. And then Catch is the guinea pig. He's a co-founder and somehow got in the position of being the guinea pig. So, but he's the perfect for it because we can keep throwing shit at him. He's good at what he does. Adam's incredible at what he does. Jen's great at what she does. Like we all kind of have different strengths in different ways. Honestly, I think my biggest strength is I know what I don't know. And I'm not afraid to say I don't know, because if I tell you I don't know, that means when I tell you you're more you can trust that. So if I don't have an answer, look, man, I don't know. I can find out. Odds are I know someone who knows. If not me, Jen, Catch, or Adam, I'm so well connected in the strength and performance community with different specialists, knee, shoulder, pelvic floor. I know someone who has the answer. And that's the trick. You surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, or more prepared than you, or stronger, bigger, faster, whatever it is where you're trying to get where you're going. That's all coaching is. I'm surrounding myself with people that are better equipped in the other areas than I'm not.
I can do half push-ups now, by the way, real quick. I can do
Whoa.
half negative
Cool.
push-ups.
Half negative push-ups. We're gonna get you to full ones. Use stairs, so you can do full range of motion and work your way down to flat.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other questions before we get even more into the weeds? I'm hungry. And my dogs are going nuts.
Thanks for
a lot
everything.
for today, Nick.
Yep,
All
thank
right,
you,
guys.
Nick.
I'll
It was
catch y'all
great.
next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Have a great weekend, y'all.
Nick, as